Oh, well, hello, boys and girls, and welcome to the SLG Network's watch along for the New York Football Giants and the Minnesota Vikings in Super Wildcard Sunday weekend, whatever they want to call it. My name is Kevin Wilson. You're not. And the man to my, well, on the screen, it's my left. Actually, it's my
You're that way. Okay.
left. And I pointed to the right spot for the first time in a long time, so I'm doing good right now. This would be Draven Barth. He's our resident Vikings fan. So, Draven, how you doing?
I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling very excited because I love our offense, and I think that our offense. I'm not saying it's quite that caliber, but it reminds me very much of like Chiefs in 2020, Bengals last year type of tour. Like their offense is explosive, but there were also some holes. You know, like for the Chiefs, it was their offensive line. You know, right now we have some offensive line issues. Our big thing is our defense is atrocious. That is the thing that I'm most excited to see what happens in the playoffs. Like, do we stop playing single high, super soft coverage, and then it feels like we're only fucking rushing three? I don't know. We'll see. I would like to see us go back to like, pushing five, press man with a lurking safety or a lurking linebacker. Like that's kind of what bread and butter has always been for Minnesota or Tampa too type of situations. So I guess I'm excited to see it. A little nervous though, because Vikings like to Viking. And when they Viking, we get blown out by 40.
Well, first bit of news, it's final in Buffalo, 34-31. The Buffalo Bills move on. They will face either the Cincinnati Bengals or the Jacksonville Jaguars next weekend, time to be determined. So now with about 10 minutes to go in the first quarter, the Vikings have a second down. They're currently driving. They're on the Giants side of the field. They're in the red zone too. So this should be
You're having more success than me. It hasn't transitioned yet on the old TV. They're running through a recap. We're like 6 months behind. Oh, never mind. Hear this. Oh, curious. What are your thoughts on the Hawkinson pickup, and do you think that he will be a deciding factor as to our success or our failure?
So I don't really see him doing much. He really hasn't done a ton since he got traded from Detroit. And in Detroit, he really didn't do a ton. So I just think this is kind of just how he is as a player. He's going to be there for a few catches a game and is serviceable.
Yeah. We've also got Irv Smith back.
And granted, as we're talking, I don't know if you saw that 3rd down and 3 play.
That's what's up!
As we're talking about TJ Hawkinson, there he is.
Dude, TJ Hawkinson is the man. He's the man with the plan. I think I'm almost a full play ahead of you because I just watched the next play, and I think you'll get a kick out of it.
Well, all right. So I stream my cable TV through YouTube TV. I have no issue with this. It is what it is.
I wish I could relay it to you. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we're starting off nice. Justin Jefferson on a nice little drag route.
Yep.
Yeah, he has been no 2K this year. I was actually extremely bummed to see how he finished the year. But if you look at the trajectory, this makes me even more excited for next year, thinking he might actually break 2K. Because if you just look at how it's jumped, he had 1,400 first year, 1,600 his second year, 1,800 this year. Come on. The writing's on the wall. Give him 2,000 next.
So it looks like that touchdown from Jefferson is going to be under further review, and I think it's going to be 1st and goal from the foot line.
You think so?
His knee appears to be down just before he touches the pylon.
Do you think that the Vikings are true contenders for the Super Bowl this year? As a non-Viking fan,
As a down the middle, I am a Patriots fan, and also Red Sox and Braves, as you can see. Look, number one, it should have been the Patriots going 17-0 this year. I mean, that didn't happen, but you know, um, I
we
don't
got
I don't
robbed in
think the
2007.
Vikings. Yeah, we did.
I will shout that from the
Um,
outside. I truly believe that.
but I'm rooting for the Vikings in this game because it's the Giants. And bringing out 2007 and then bringing out 2011, it's like, oh god, I could have a field day talking about those 2 years. Both the grace of God, we are the best team ever, and then 2011 being the we're lucky we were able to tie our shoes correctly type of plays going on. It's like we only got into the Super Bowl because John Harbaugh wasn't thinking to get Cundiff out there to go and kick the game-winning field goal for Baltimore. He wasn't getting Cundiff ready, so all of a sudden he's like running out after taking one practice kit and kick, and then whoop, the kick goes far left. But with the Vikings, I don't see them as a contender because as much as I rode Kirk Cousins all the way to a fantasy football championship, um, unfortunately with the Damar Hamlin stuff, it ended up being like I don't think our league is really recognizing anybody as a champion.
I think that's fair.
Me and my opponent, we ended up splitting our winnings. Um, Neither of us felt right profiting off of what had happened that night, and to be honest, I left Tom Brady and 37 points on my bench, thinking Kirk Cousins would be able to beat Green Bay, and that didn't happen. So, yeah.
So basically, you're thinking that. So is it Kirk's fault that we're not a championship caliber team, or is it some other aspect of the team that you're just like, this is why?
Well,
Like, what's the
I
straw?
think the defense is a little suspect too. As Kirk just sneaks it on my end again, a little behind. I stream it, so I've got a lag. Um, Kirk sneaks it across for the touchdown. I kind of think of it like, you know, if they had a better quarterback than Kirk, that offense would be absolutely elite. But Kirk, I've always felt, was a good to sometimes great quarterback. He's not, he's definitely not Tom Brady. He's not that. He's not an Aaron Rodgers type. But definitely, I think an Eli Manning, better than an Eli Manning, but someone in that vein, a
Okay.
Manning or a Phillip Rivers.
I think that Philip Rivers is a pretty fair one. The main thing I think with Kirk is just the lack of consistency in big games. Like, another thing that makes me concerned about this game is the fact that it's a 3 o'clock game. Dude, Kirk's bedtime is like 4:45 every evening. Like, he needs
Yeah, I know
sleep. He gets
his
up at like 1:30.
he definitely comes across as being that oh yeah, no, you gotta get the early bird special at the Waffle House, otherwise you're not gonna be able to.
Yeah, like, oh, last night was
Yeah,
a late night.
you're gonna
Like,
be
what
with all
time's
the
my bed?
ruffins and
Oh,
the
like
hooligans out there.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I think that the Giants are. I don't know. The Giants are fluky. I don't think that there's any way that. As I say that, they're gonna probably Saquon's gonna bust an 80-yard touchdown or something. But the Giants are fluky in a sense of they're playing well, but they don't. I don't think have all the pieces that they would necessarily need to actually go on a real run. Whereas I think the Vikings have all the pieces to go on a run. I just don't know if they have the right play call. especially with our defense. If I see Danielle Hunter covering the flats again, I'm gonna. Yes. Oh my god. If I see Danielle Hunter covering the flats again, I'm gonna scream. That man should not be in coverage ever. He's a human. He's a genetic mutation. I swear. He needs to have his hand in the dirt, rushing the quarterback every single time he touches the field. Can't do that. No, no, no. What's going on here? Guys. Guys. Guys! Damn it! I don't enjoy watching 1st and 20 and we're playing really soft coverage. What's the point?
The number 97 in purple, he came close to being able to get the tackle, even was being held.
Yeah, I like Harrison Phillips. I thought he was a really nice pickup from the Bills. It was awesome to see what he did for DeMar Hamlin. I don't remember exactly. I think he sent a bunch of money or something like that.
He ended up, I think he paid for like some meals for the medical staff or training staff or what have you.
Yeah, it was something like that. Like he helped cover, some expenses and stuff. Just to be honest, I think if I'm not mistaken, Harrison spent like most of his career as a Bill, if not all of his career as a Bill before we picked him up. So like he's homegrown. Like that's Buffalo. That's his home. And you just only imagine how rough it felt. I do say the NFL's got to be a tough business if you're one of those like team jumpers.
So he was drafted in 2018 by the Buffalo Bills, and he left in 2021. This is his first season with the Vikings.
Yep. I thought he was with just the Bills.
Excuse me.
He's a sound little piece.
3rd round pick out of Stanford.
Okay, I didn't know he was a 3rd rounder. That's better than what I thought, because I think we got him for honestly pretty cheap.
It says I'm on Wikipedia. It says 3-year, $19.5 million contract.
That's not bad. Probably more than I would prefer to spend on a defensive tackle, especially one who's just more of a run stuffer versus an actual pass rusher. But that's all right. Can't complain. So we're waiting for a little more excitement. I'm curious as to. So your Patriots are obviously out.
Yes.
Draft is coming up. It's coming up sooner than what people really think. It'll be here. It's what, April usually is when the draft is. Usually the first.
Yes, it's the. Unless did they change?
I didn't see a date yet.
Thursday, April 27th to Saturday, April 29th. That'll be the draft this year.
Oh wow, it seems kind of late this year, but anyways, damn it. Saquon Barkley just busted a nice little 30-yarder.
For a touchdown, right?
Yep, nice little pitch play.
Yeah, no, that was a good play. Yeah, so far we've gotten, as you can see on the ticker below, that I wish I could go and slow down a little bit, but I got the finals from yesterday and earlier today. That San Francisco game kind of went the way I figured it would, with San Francisco eventually pulling way ahead late.
100%.
Don't think anybody, after Trevor Lawrence's 4 first-half interceptions, I don't think anybody put him winning that game on his bingo card, but Then again, it's the most Charger thing to go and happen to a team since Atlanta was up 28-3 in the Super Bowl.
I watched
Um,
a meme today actually about that, saying a star was born, and then it had Justin Herbert, and then it transitioned him to Matt Ryan.
yeah. Like I don't really put the blame on him. I put the blame pretty much more on Brandon Staley for being such a fucking idiot.
I don't think that he's as good of a coach as, I don't know, people are giving him credit for. I think the talent on the team was carrying the team to where it was even going. Because I don't know, just how many times I've seen him folly calls, or just his clock management is not very good. Like, it's a headache. It's an actual headache to watch. And then you have Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. Granted, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen can't seem to stay healthy to save their life. But you've got all these weapons, Austin Eckler, like all these pieces, and you can't make the playoffs like consistently, or you're always like right on the cusp of whether or not you're going to make it. With a team with that much talent, offense and defense side of the ball, easily should be 12-win team, in my opinion.
Should have been. But maybe if they get like a Sean Payton or a Jim Harbaugh, somebody that can work with Herbert, also somebody that can, not be Brandon Staley in a meaningless Week 18 game, play your starters.
I think Sean Payton would be actually a really good fit now that you say that.
Mm. Oh, I saw a tweet earlier today because he's now starting to be linked to Carolina. And now living in South Carolina, I do follow Panthers news.
I'm a Panther fan.
It's one of those like I've always liked their colors. That
Okay.
black and a darker take on the Carolina blue. And their uniforms. I'm a big uniform person. Like I go and look at the Giants Vikings uniforms today, and it's like that to me is uniform porn. It's awesome. All right, they're so clean. Like Tampa Bay before they went back to what they're wearing now. When they had the like digital alarm clock numbers, I'm like, oh, that's so fucking stupid. This is the worst. I at one point hated Seattle's because they were the first one to really kind of like, oh, let's go and get a little creative. And those have slowly, like the first few years they had on, like, no, these are pretty good.
So
These are
who do
pretty
you think
good.
has the best jerseys in the league?
Green Bay Packers. Sorry, it's Green Bay.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
Because it's one of those like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's such a classic look.
That's fair. I
That
guess.
like it's very easy for me to go and say the Green Bay Packers, but I could very easily go and say San Francisco has the best look too. They're like a 1A 1B to me.
I think the Jaguars uniforms are some of the nicest in the league. Just the color scheme, I think it's very visually appealing. Even like their gold ones that look like pee. Like I think it still looks nice just because of just the way that it's designed, and it meshes well with the throw up green that they've got going on. Like they've got all these
Yeah.
interesting colors. Like it looks nice though. It looks really nice. I'm using bad descriptors, but it looks really nice.
No, I like the Jacksonville Jaguars uniform. Carolina Panthers one I mentioned was also a very very good one. So when the Chargers and Rams went to LA,
Mhm.
and the Rams put out their new uniforms and that bone white, bone gray, whatever color they called it, like that just looks so bad. They hardly use it now, and they should never have done the blue and yellow they're currently using. The Chargers, though, oh, the Chargers absolutely hit it out of the park. Oh, especially all of their uniform combinations. That dark blue yellow combination they have that looks like the I hate this guy. Dan Fouts era Chargers uniforms. Oh, those are just mint.
I can agree with
Oh
that.
man,
I can also agree with that sentiment that you were talking about with the Rams. Like, I would almost say that I prefer their old to their new. Like, just something about their old. It's just, I don't know. It's got a lot more. I don't know. It's just got a lot more energy to it. Right now, like, it just seems too modern almost with the current color scheme. It's almost like they're trying to be the Chargers.
yeah, and it's like, ugh, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Plus, it's like, I honestly would have liked it better if they went with the real old school Rams blue and white.
What the fuck are we doing? Kevin O'Connell. Keep it simple. Kirk
Yeah,
is not Jalen Hurts. He's not Kyler Murray. He's for damn sure not Lamar Jackson. Do not throw him the ball and try and make him make moves. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Are you done? That was because of my little monologue. I just don't get it. I just don't get why people have so much faith in Kirk to do these hyper athletic things when Kirk is not hyper athletic. He's never been anywhere near athletic. He does make some pretty decent runs. I will give him that this year. He's made some, instead of being a scarecrow in the pocket. I was totally drawing blank on words. Instead of being a scarecrow in the pocket, he's actually been a little bit immobile, and I've seen him bust and lower the shoulder a little bit. Makes you feel confident, but yeah, don't be doing that kind of stuff with Kirk. Like, give him maybe a different opportunity to have a Nick Foles moment, but don't do that. Don't do a screen pass. Messages from. Don't know what we've got going on. Ooh, what is this? Oh. Kevin, did you leave? He's out. Well, what's up, everybody? Your main man, the lonely Viking fan, Draven Barth coming at you. I will say, though, I absolutely adore the Viking punter. Just almost no different than like we just picked up some chunky college kid out of a frat party who just so happened to have a fucking leg of God.
oh, like a Pat McAfee.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know why he makes me think of Pat McAfee. I don't know how he is personality wise, but I can just assume that he's kind of that, like, just he's got that personality. Mother! Ed, you're a liar. Fuck you, Ed Donatel. He said, and I quote, like, it's our time to shine or something like that this week. Oh, okay. Yeah, nothing but soft coverage. Soft coverage still. Why are we still in soft coverage? The Giants don't even have like that good of a receiving core. It's all right. It's deep for sure, but it's not that good.
And like, I will go and give the Giants a little bit of credit here because I like their coach. I like Brian Daboll. I thought that was a fantastic hire last summer. Um, but they don't have they've got Saquon Barkley, they've got a couple of talented guys on defense, but there's still kind of a I liken this to a couple of Red Sox seasons where you expect them to be in like a bridge rebuilding year, and instead they come 2 games from going to the World Series.
I actually grew up a Red Sox fan. Granted, as a kid, dude, I like that Saquon's back because I do enjoy watching him run, but damn it, I don't like watching him run against us. As I say, I grew up a Red Sox fan actually because of Big Poppy, and totally fell off the boat. I think the last time I watched a Red Sox game was in like 2009. So it's been
wow.
time.
That was one of the forgotten years. Like, as a lifelong Red Sox fan, whew, I'm just seeing that Saquon run.
God damn it!
I think I'm about to go and change the ticker again.
That's really good stuff.
No, as a lifelong Red Sox fan, I've gone and seen some down years, some good years. See, obviously, I've seen 4 World Series appearances and 4 World Series championships. But there were 2 years that should have been World Championships. Ooh, wow.
Yeah, don't you like how, again, we're running soft coverage against a team that has, like, I'm not going to say no weapons, but they're very limited in their weapons, and we continue to just give them, like, a full human body.
And that should have been a false start.
In cushion.
Okay, and you know what? That brings up, they're bringing up, but again, I stream through YouTube TV, so I'm a little bit behind, but they go and bring up, I don't know who, I think it's Burkhart and Greg Olson, I think. And Olson saying, like, instead of trying to go after, it looked like Danielle Hunter was caring more about, hey, flag, flag, flag. And it's like, don't worry about it. If the ref missed it, the ref missed it. If the ref sees it, he's going to throw the flag. Okay? You don't need to, because you know what? Maybe Hunter comes in and he's able to apply some pressure, and that's not a touchdown for the Giants.
Yeah, maybe. That is fair, but also, like, in today's game, although I do think sometimes it's a hindrance, we have reviews for a reason. So I guess I would think that, on a scoring play, that they would review it. They would say, oh, look, he false started. That's not actually technically a scoring play. Maybe try and do something like that. I guess I don't think that you can actually do that. Or at least I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. But I wish that they could impose something like that to where they can change it to a penalty if it does look like an egregious penalty. Yeah. Or if it is a blatant penalty. I think that's the whole point of reviews, and I feel like that's kind of gotten lost a little bit. Refs always want to go off the first take. Like, I'm genuinely sick of how many blown dead plays I've seen from just the Vikings alone, let alone the rest of the NFL. If I see another play blown dead that would have been a touchdown or a massive game-changing play because someone's like, oh, someone touched him. It's ridiculous. Yep. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Though I also hate the players that, they think they hear a whistle, so they stop. Like, they think they're going to get the whistle, and they don't. It's like, no, I didn't hear no whistle. You going?
Oh, yeah. You don't go to the whistle. You go through the whistle. Oh, this is I will say that we're a second half team. So although this is disheartening, we do tend to pick it up in the second half.
Mm.
How many comebacks have we come back from this year alone? I want to say 4 that were north of double digits. Oh yeah, see, yeah, Zadarius Smith is literally sitting there, pushing him back with one hand, staring at the ref, going, "Hey, he false started." What?
It's like, dude, come on.
At that point, just play the fucking play. I'm sorry. At that point, play the play. I'm gonna ask you a kind of a Viking question. So regarding like Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
So some people are talking get rid of him. Some people are talking extend him. He's gonna be 27, 28, I think. I think he's a year older than me. So I think he's currently 27. So I think he's gonna turn like 28 next year. I believe he's on maybe the second to last year of his contract. This might be his last year. I do need to catch up on that. But with our team being how it is, would you sign Dalvin Cook or would you try and move on and find a replacement that's cheaper? Right now, I think he's like 13. It's like 13 to 14 mil.
So it's kind of tough because I mean, I think Cook is still good, but what's out there on the market to go and take that isn't locked up with another team or is, in the case of Ezekiel Elliott, maybe not up to where he was when he first got in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little running back in the NFL is a little iffy nowadays anyway. Excuse me, just because it's more of a passing league now, and if you're a pass catching back, you're a little bit more valuable than a straight hard running back.
Mm.
And that's the end of the first quarter. 14-7 Giants lead. A hell of a quarter by the Giants being able to hell of a job by the Giants being able to go and handle the Vikings for the most part in the first quarter, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll give him that. You want to know one thing that I will honestly say that I'm a little upset about because I truly believe what I'm about to say with all of my heart. I think that the league transitioning when it did made us miss out on probably one of the greatest running backs of all time, and he's still considered an all-time great, Mr. Adrian Peterson, because it transitioned. Like when AP was still doing ridiculous things, and if it had just been maybe 5-10 years sooner, like AP, I truly firmly believe would have rushed for probably a handful of more 1,000-yard seasons if we would have been back to where a ball carrier could just get the ball. Whereas like now they're like, oh well, the reason why he needs to be phased out because he's that old school running back when he's 35 and is still running better than a lot of these mid-20s people in their mid-20s.
When he was
absolutely insane.
When he was with Washington, he was running hard still. I'm like, geez, this guy's not going to quit, is he?
Yeah, he's still got it. I would almost bet you could probably call him up right now. Like, hey, I need a game. Give me $120. We'll give you 30 carries. He'd probably get pretty damn close to it.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
Look, he came within, 5 yards of breaking Eric Dickerson's rushing record?
7 yards of the all-time season record. Yes.
But you know what?
I wish they would have broken that. I would have much rather him break that than us go to the fucking playoffs and get destroyed like we did because we had Joe Webb at quarterback. Joe Webb and Christian Ponder. Woo! So glad I went to the playoffs with that.
Well, I look at that and I say, okay, yeah, no, that's a good guy. 11-0 in one-score games this season for the Vikings.
Oh yeah, no, it's literally the exact opposite of last year. Last year, I don't know if you watched a bunch of our episodes, but on the CDs, I was beating the horn about how like all of our games were one score. Like everyone's acting
Yep.
like we were just absolutely the worst thing on the planet when we're one score. Like we lost all of our
Yeah, no,
games by
I
all collectively. It was
I
like less
agree
than
with
30.
that. Like the Patriots this year, they were within one or two scores, or like, like, oh, they can definitely go and they can get this game, they can get back into it, and it's just like for some reason they just couldn't do it at the end of games. They couldn't close. It's weird.
Get him off my team.
Oh,
I'm so done with him. First, he's made a paper mache, and he also has inconsistent hands.
do you want Nelson Aguilar? Because those two might be the best 1-2 combo of drop passes.
Oh, good lord.
He's looking right at the ball too.
Yeah,
And while I was away, you were talking about Kirk and running. Look, Tom
yeah.
Brady has always been known as one of those Clydesdale horses. Does not run often, but when he runs, you know he's running. Kirk is not a Clydesdale. Um, he's more of a your decent like thoroughbred horse that you know tries hard, but will never show in a horse race, if you know what I mean.
He's a good mule. He's a really good mule.
Yeah.
He works hard, but he'll never be a horse. He works.
Yeah. Versus a guy like Josh Allen. He's also a Clydesdale, but he's a younger Clydesdale. Brady is one of those older Clydesdales that probably has one or two more years left before he's all set. Josh Allen is that newer one that's full of energy and has a little bit of piss of vinegar to him.
I will admit, I do love Josh Allen as a person. He is genuinely one of my favorite people to watch in like interviews or like interactions. He's just a goofy, just loves to live life. I love people like that. Like that's why I love Brett Favre so much as a kid. Because he loved, it's what I hate is like now like saying Brett Favre, like saying I like Brett Favre is like saying, I was a big fan of Jordan Belfort. Like it's got this negative connotation to it, like I'm a criminal.
Yeah, well, take it from me. It's very. I look at it and say, I'm conditioned to not like this team because they're a divisional opponent, but I can't help but root for the Bills because, like, there's just not a bad player on the team. If the worst player on the team to me is Cole Beasley because he was a thorn in the Patriots secondary for years, but that's it. It's just because he was one of those Wes Welker, Julian Edelman type of receivers that could fit underneath.
He's so
Like,
shitty.
okay, if that's the worst that I can find, like, there's a video of Diggs a few weeks ago. I forget the game, but he saw a kid in a Diggs jersey, with permission from the mother, picked him up out of the stands and played catch with him as he warmed up. Like,
That's
come
awesome.
on.
That's awesome. I will say that I have some contempt towards Diggs, even though I am thankful that like he's been able to have a fruitful career afterwards. I would say honestly more of my contempt towards him though is, and granted I can't speak on behalf of what the Vikings said in closed doors, because that's apparently what Diggs was all disgruntled about. But I will say I'm tired of the comparisons between Diggs and Jefferson. Because if you actually think that Diggs is as good as Jefferson, I think that you need help.
Jefferson to me is like not our generation, this generation's Randy Moss type or Jerry Rice type. I
I was
think
gonna
he's
say
going to
that I
be a
think
very
he's like
landmark
a Jerry
receiver.
Rice. Like he's so close to Jerry Rice with how he plays the game. It's absurd. Because I'm also in a lot of Viking fan groups and forums and things like that. And do you know how many people just bitch, whine, moan, and complain because they're like, oh, he'll never be Randy Moss. He doesn't play like Randy. He plays nothing like Randy. You want to know what Randy played? Go deep. Throw it really high to the 6'4" who runs like a 4'1".
Yeah.
That's the game that Randy
Who
played.
can jump like 12 feet or whatever. Like
Yeah.
Randy Moss, kind of like a Brady, where Brady, I just put him on a completely different pedestal than other quarterbacks because what he's done through continuous play, obviously, but just the fact that he's like, this was the first year in his career he's ever had a losing record. It's the first time since 2002 he had less than 10 wins as a starting quarterback.
I saw it. I literally saw it. I saw it. How do they run a curl and you are not there? You should be suction cup to that man's hip. He ran exactly as deep
Boy.
as he needed to. I don't understand it. But no, I agree. So like the people who try and make those comparisons of like, oh well, Justin Jefferson will never be Randy Moss. Cool. Jerry Rice wasn't Randy Moss. Marvin Harrison wasn't Randy Moss. There are a lot of all-time great receivers that you would be damn lucky to have on your team that were not in the same just stratosphere as Randy. Randy had the potential to be the greatest of all time, bar none, but he was just a tad too much of a diva.
I just saw that curl route, and it's like that stutter step should not have prevented you from getting in closer.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like we're playing a lot of. So what's this? Okay, so here's run, Danny. Yeah. So that looked like a Tampa 2 coverage. Ooh, but I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, he technically moved, but no one reacted to it. And I don't think he crossed the line. Silly. I will say I'm excited for the Vikings culture, but I'm nervous about the team itself. Because I think the culture is going to last. I love Kwesi Adolfo-Mensa and KOC, Kevin O'Connell, has been fantastic. I absolutely adore those men. But when you look at a lot of our key pieces, they either A, are questioning whether they still want to be there, B, are extremely injury riddled, or C, they're getting towards the end of their career. I mean, when you're looking at Zadarius Smith, great pickup, great morale pickup, fantastic. He's what, 32? Gonna be 32, something like that. So he's towards the back end of his career. Daniil Hunter, we missed basically the last 2 years without Daniil because of that neck injury that just kept reflaring back up. Harrison Smith is in his early 30s. I think we drafted him back in 2012. So I think he's 32, 33. So although still very good, he's just towards the end of everything. Again, if you look at Eric Kendricks, similar boats. A lot of our key pieces, they're getting old. So it makes me, I guess, a little nervous when it comes to trying to replace those people in the future and making sure that they're good, sound replacements. Because those are really key pieces.
Patriots kind of went through that. We mentioned 07 earlier. They went through that around 08, 09 into 2010, where Bruschi retired, Rodney Harrison retired, Wilfork was getting older, but he was still with the team. I think he got traded in 12 or 13, or he signed with Houston in 12 or 13. But the
I do remember
defense
that.
was getting older, and they were getting younger talent in, but that was a point. So in that 10-year gap between Super Bowl 39 against the Eagles and 49 against the Seahawks,
Mm.
there was a small window of time where nothing seemed to be working right. They had all these different players in the secondary, all these different players playing wide receiver. Bill Belichick can't draft or scout a wide receiver to save his life. Um, the only one that it worked was Julian Edelman, and he had to be a quarterback at Kent State first to be able to be a good wide receiver. But
So wait, you know what? I'm going to challenge that. I'm going to burn through some wide receivers that I could think of. Okay, so I know Wes Welker wasn't drafted by him.
nope, Miami.
Julian was technically Deion Branch. Was Deion Branch drafted by?
Okay, Deion Branch was drafted. I will go and say, yep, that panned out really well as a receiver. He was a very, very good one. He's one of the ones that, like, around here is forgotten about, which I don't like. I don't even like that I forgot about Deion Branch.
He was one that, like, every time I watched a Patriots game, like, 10 years ago, like, when a play needed to be made, it was for some reason like almost always Deion. Like when a deep play needed to be made, it was Deion Branch. Yeah, outside of that, I mean, Chris Hogan was all right, but I don't know if you guys drafted him, but he wasn't like anything perennial.
He was drafted by Buffalo. No, there were
we good at tight ends
times. Oh yeah, no, we were very, very good at tight end between Ben Watson, and then, of course, Gronkowski. But he was a no name that did next to nothing. So whatever. And then Aaron Hernandez.
I would say even Hernandez, although that didn't turn out great, he had
potential. It didn't turn out great.
You guys could have had the greatest tight end duo of all time, and probably two of the greatest tight ends of all time drafted in the same class. Like, that's insane to me.
Like, Gronk, the story was that, Aaron Hernandez is the better blocker and Rob Gronkowski is the better catcher. And then as you go through, you're like, oh, no, Rob is good at catching the ball too. He's not the greatest at blocking, but he's good at catching it. Aaron Hernandez is fantastic at catching it. Just when he's on the field, it's a pass play. Yeah, but like, that could have been the best tight end duo in NFL history. And Rob Gronkowski is one of the best tight ends in history.
I think he's probably the greatest tight end specimen, and probably in my book the greatest tight end of all time. Granted, this was.
I still remember watching Tony Gonzalez in his prime, so I guess
I didn't. I never watched Tony in his prime, but granted, it was more off of just like blind luck, but I had heard about Gronkowski. He had like a kind of decent first year, but I was hearing so many good things going into his second year that I picked him up in fantasy. And that was the year he went for 13, 40, and 17 touchdowns. And I was like, look at me go. Yeah. But like watching him, he's so big and just does what he wants.
Yeah, no,
finally.
Oh, what was it? There were plenty of times where like he's dragging defenders. And we got some comments flowing in. Nick Alvarez, let's go Giants over on Facebook.
Suck a railroad spike.
CB on YouTube. Aaron Hernandez was hanging in there too. Oh, he was. Unbelievable. There were plenty of people with 81 jerseys that thought that he was going to pan out to be better than Gronk, and obviously we know what happened. We don't need to rehash that story.
So pull up Woohoo. Woohoo saw my fall.
I think we all saw that fall.
I love
his picture too.
I What happened was I laughed and I just my wife just got me this new chair. Before I was in an actual like rocking chair, and I was used to like being able to like lean back. Well, this one leans back a lot farther than I'm expecting. And I like went to lean back like I normally do, like kind of with my weight as I was laughing, and I popped, and my headset was attached to my system and everything. And usually it detaches. It didn't detach. Just ripped the
Oh.
whole thing, and I kicked and I kicked the tables. Fucking everything on this table just went crashing down. That was I'm laughing about it now because thank God my tower is still functioning. But yeah, my monitor busted, and yeah,
Oh.
I was not as laughy when it happened. I was crying. I was very sad.
Oh yeah, no, I'm watching that and like I'm laughing, of course, because that was fantastic. Like, I don't think we're gonna have a better opening intro to any of the SLG Network videos, which you can go and watch on YouTube.com/the SLG Network. Go like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. um, but I'm also like kind of, oh no, but like I hope he can get a new tower. I hope the tower's okay. I wasn't worried too much about monitors because monitors nowadays are very cheap. Same thing with like HD TVs. I remember a time 20 years ago where a 50-inch TV like I currently have would be like $800 to $1,000, and nowadays, like I purchased this one for $300 a couple of years ago. So it's like monitors and TVs are just really, really cheap now.
Yeah.
But it's like towers aren't. Like mine was on sale and it was $1,000.
Yeah, that was my biggest concern without a doubt. And what's crazy is like a lot of the guts in my tower right now, they're more expensive now than when I bought them. Because it's just the shortages on everything. I'm like, this is garbage. Like if this broke, like
I
think everything in my tower is like it's like $1,500, like $1,700, something like that. Like if I were to try and replace it, I'd be looking at probably like $2,200. Like it's ridiculous. And it's for older stuff. It's not even that old of like it's not even that new of things.
No, like I've got the only thing I updated with my computer was the RAM, and like I want to go and upgrade other stuff, but it's like I don't have just like $600 for a new processor.
Mm-hmm.
Like or $800 for a new graphics card or a GUI. Like I don't have that type of money just laying around.
I would say most don't. Okay, Dustin Faircloth. Granted, this was like 20 minutes ago, but I'm just seeing your comment now. It said, who you got in the game? Bro, I'm wearing Vikings. It says Viking on my shirt right now. Do you see? Who do you think I got? This hurts me. This hurts me so bad. Yes! I'm just tired of soft coverage. I don't get it. I've never understood why anyone thought it was a good idea to be like, hey, let's just bend and just give free yards and points. No. You walk up to their front door, you knock, and if they don't answer, you kick the door in. You push them and you don't allow them any room to breathe. When someone is able to get relaxed and comfortable, that's when they're going to destroy you every single time. Hell, watching the Patriots. I watched a lot of Patriots growing up. A lot of the prime Patriots. It was a lot of in your face, like you're gonna just be better than us or nothing. And I would much rather have that. I like that kind of defense.
There was also credit to Bill Belichick, where you had coaches trying to outsmart Bill and they end up getting dumber and doing dumber things, thinking that they can get one over on Bill, and Bill is just doing his normal stuff. Like Bill's a fantastic head coach. Don't get me wrong. But he's not like this, oh hey, let me let me go and show that I'm the best coach out there. He's just this damn good at it. And then you got coaches coming into New England that are like, all right, I got to be able to outcoach Bill. We're going to do it this way, and that way is like the worst failure in all of existence.
I think a lot of it has to boil down to like the fundamentals. Like that's the crazy thing about just life, sports, and everything. The fundamentals. If you do the fundamentals well, like if a team, literally the Titans 3 years ago were a prime example. They
Mm-hmm.
just ran the ball better than you, and you couldn't stop it because they just ran the ball better than you, and
Yep.
there's nothing you could do about it. And they got them all the way to the AFC Championship because you knew what they were going to do, and they just could do it because they were just better than you. I I love that. That's my favorite. That's my favorite way or my favorite mentality to have is like, you know what? Let's you and me, mano y mano. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm gonna do, and you're gonna try and stop it. But can you? Because I've practiced this thing or this, the whole I don't know if you've ever heard the analogy towards, I don't fear the man who's practiced 10,000 punches once, but I do fear the man who's practiced one punch 10,000 times. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's that same mentality of these people are so good at this thing, they're gonna tell you that this is what they're gonna do, and you still can't stop it.
Yeah. Another way to put that: a jack of all trades is a master of none.
Yep.
And it's absolutely right. I would rather go up against a jack of all trades because I know I can exploit a weakness because they haven't mastered it. But if you've got that master, the guy who's practiced one shot 10,000 times, yeah, no, I want to make sure I never have to face that shot.
Exactly. And yeah, like right now in the NFL, I don't know if I can necessarily say that there's maybe San Fran. San Fran is probably the closest team that I can say like they're just a master of almost everything. Like they're just a really like they cover the fundamentals, they cover things beyond the fundamentals, like some interesting trick plays and sweet plays and things like that. But okay, down
Well,
10. Here we go.
with San Francisco, I know I think pre-show I went and said that I wanted San Francisco and Buffalo in the Super Bowl. Those
Mhm.
those were my picks.
Yep.
Um, so saying that out in the open on the SLG network, San Francisco, Buffalo. That's my pick for the Super Bowl. Um, but I'm gonna stop there because I don't know which one I want. That like so where I used to live up in Massachusetts, we have 98.5 the Sports Hub, the now premier sports talk radio in
Okay.
the Boston area. Um, so one of the uh, one of the show hosts, Jim Murray, when his teams are not in it, he goes for the uh, misery index or like the Schadenfreude type of
Okay.
deal. Laughing at and enjoying other people's misery.
Oh yeah.
And for this one, I don't know which one I would enjoy more. Buffalo losing a fifth Super Bowl and no longer being tied with Minnesota, no offense.
It's okay.
Um, it was well before our time, so it's like they might as well be 0 for 0.
Exactly.
But Buffalo losing a fifth or Kyle Shanahan fucking something up and having another like epic collapse meltdown because he was behind 28-3 and he was behind Patrick Mahomes getting his first. So like I don't know which one I would laugh at more.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate. One thing I will say though is I do believe that Kyle Shanahan is a fantastic coach. I think
Mm-hmm.
that he truly is a great coach. He's right up there with his dad, in my opinion, with just how he
Oh yeah,
conducts himself and what he's able to do to a team, and the talent he's able to bring around, and just I don't know. Like, it seems like you don't hear an ill word about him. Like with Bill, you have that whole like he's a hard ass type of thing. But you don't have that with Kyle. He's very like a
no,
modern day like he's your best friend while also being a good coach.
Bill is very much, yeah, he's a hard ass. Yeah, he's, one of those that's just like, oh, we're we're on to the off season. We need to make sure that we get players that know how to play X's and O's. We
Bill, what was the most exciting thing about this season?
we're on to the off season. Scouting players, making sure we get guys X's and O's.
That's the most accurate Bill Belichick.
Oh yeah. That is not the only impersonation I can go and do. But like Bill kind of proves that he's a great head coach, but at the same time it's like the act is wearing a little thin, especially now that in 3 years he's been in the playoffs once since Brady left, and it was a blowout loss to the Bills.
Oh yeah.
Though, speaking of the Bills,
showing. But one thing I do think is when it comes to coaching and quarterbacks, like a quarterback cannot outshine a bad coach. Whereas I do think that a good coach can make up for maybe not a bad quarterback, but a less than adequate quarterback.
Well, so a lot of the detractors for Brady used to say, "Oh, put him in any other system, and he'll falter. He's just a system quarterback." It's like, well, they all are a system quarterback. It's just a matter of finding the right system for that quarterback. I mean, look at an Alex Smith out in San Francisco. Once Jim Harbaugh got to him, all of a sudden he is playing like he's the former #1 draft pick.
Yeah, it resurged his career. I think people forget that, people thought that Alex Smith was a bust for his first 6 years of his career when he was with.
Yeah, because he went through 4 head coaches, 5 offensive coordinators. He was constantly every year, the January 1st. Okay, New Year's resolution: stay learning the same playbook. What? Oh, he's fired. Oh, that one's already crossed off. Once Jim Harbaugh got there, and then once he got to Kansas City and played with Andy Reid, it was, again, he was learning a new playbook, but it was a playbook that he could work with. And yeah. Andy is, I know Philly fans will probably hate hearing this, Andy Reid is one of the best coaches in the NFL currently. Because he's very smart. Now, time management-wise, he's still, does this get me to my cheeseburger faster or slower? I can't tell. But, he's great. I do enjoy watching an Andy Reid game. I also enjoy when he fucks up the times.
Here we go. Here we go.
You go and look at...
Nice little strike down the seam. I'll give you a chance to see it. Oh, it was a double move. Oh, that was nice. So Vikes or the Lee Vikings. If you like the Vikings, explain why. Yeah, he just keeps going.
That's kind of like in Dude, Where's My Car? They're at the Chinese restaurant. And then. No, and then.
Oh, that's great.
And it's funny, at the top of the show, I'm like, I don't know. TJ Hawkinson, he really hasn't done much. 3 for 55, and all 3 of those catches were key grabs.
We needed them.
So yeah. I guess that's all I need to say. I heard Kevin Wilson talking shit about me. I'll show him. I'll show that Southern transplant with the fuck
Lee,
boat.
You don't like the Vikings? Why? Is it because you like the Giants or you just don't like the Vikings? What do you not like about them? Please humor me. I am genuinely curious. I will admit, Vikings do Viking things. So I'm not a Viking fan who thinks that we walk on water. I understand that we like to swim and piss. So
As a Boston sports fan, I understand that we will do Boston things, which is this team is like the Boston Bruins. Let's go and say they play like one of the worst teams in the league. They will go and play down to the competition. And it's like, oh, good Lord, why? Why are you doing it this way?
as a Vikings fan, that hurts me to my soul. We always play to our competition. I don't know that I've ever seen a Vikings team besides with Adrian Peterson, and that was only because if Adrian Peterson took over the game, that we would blow out an opponent. It was always like last second touchdown, last second field goal, and you're like sitting there like your heart is just like I'm gonna die an early death because of all of just the emotional turmoil that the Vikings put me through every Sunday. Packers all the way, but they're not in the playoff. Lee, get out.
Yeah, didn't little brother take care of that?
We covered this earlier in the show. I actually grew up a Packer fan. I have here, I'll pull it down there a little bit. Granted, it's a nice little, big, nice little pile of trash, but it's a little footlocker for Packers, and it actually is Brett Favre. I don't know if you're a big Brett Favre fan, but I grew up Packer fan because of Brett Favre. You know, he has since then soiled his name, and now I'm basically not allowed to say it in the state of Wisconsin, which I currently live. So it's his fault that I'm a Viking fan. I blame him for me being a Viking fan. I blame him for everything in my life. It is all his fault. And Kevin is going down the hatch. There we go. All right. But no, I can understand your
number one
things. I will say though, Aaron Rodgers, although he's a great talent, he's kind of a douche of a person and is very unlikable.
Yeah.
And I think that if you blindly that Aaron Rodgers is a likable person, you're probably not a likable person either. Or you have blind faith. I've said this in the past, but growing up, I had a lot of like really cool idols in life, or at least what I thought were really cool idols in life, and they all turned out to be terrible people. Like I was a big growing up, and this one wasn't a terrible person, but I was a big Eddie Guerrero fan. You know, passes away. You know, tore my heart.
Yeah.
Then I became a big Chris Benoit fan. Huge.
I knew that was coming after that.
I was a huge Chris Benoit fan. Then that thing happened.
To go off of what you're saying about Chris Benoit, like I have a very with a lot of things, like J.K. Rowling of the Harry Potter series. I'm a Harry Potter fan, but I can separate what J.K. Rowling has given me as a Harry Potter fan from her viewpoints as a person. Like I can separate that. Does it make it right that she says this stuff? Hell no. No way does it make it right that she's saying that she believes this stuff. But it doesn't change, for me at least, how Harry Potter is for me. You know? And with Chris Benoit, the wrestler, as Paul Heyman said years and years ago, Chris Benoit, the wrestler, is one of the greatest of all time. Chris Benoit, the person, can go to hell. And I'm paraphrasing that because it's essentially what Paul said in that little bit, that if you separate it, Chris Benoit, the wrestler, is fantastic. There's a reason why you can't put him in the Hall of Fame. It's because of what he did that weekend in June 07.
Yeah.
because that and it's also a reason why you can't have Woman, his wife, Nancy Benoit. It's why she probably wouldn't be able to be put into the WWE or some pro wrestling Hall of Fame, because she's just always, unfortunately, going to be associated with what happened that weekend.
Yep.
But Chris Benoit, the wrestler, was fantastic. 20 years ago, the Royal Rumble's coming up, which in 2 weeks, off the top rope, we'll be live watching the Royal Rumble from San Antonio, Texas.
Make sure to check it out.
Yep, check it out on the YouTube and the Facebook and all that. That's me, that's Ray, that's Calvin, and whoever else might want to go and join, pop in.
All right.
So
I'm a little out of the wheel of WWE, but I know a lot of the history. I'm very familiar with the history. I just probably the last, I'd say about 10 years is it's here or there. Like I know a little bit, like I was familiar with the Uso brothers. Obviously, like the comeback and stuff of The Rock. I was a big John Cena fan and stuff, but he's been going for a long time now. Roman Reigns, I'm familiar with, but I don't really know too much about. Like I'm familiar with the Shield or like Seth Rollins and like little people like that. And see, like I'm naming names. I don't even know if Seth Rollins is still relevant.
He is. He's still relevant. I started watching wrestling full time in 2002.
Okay.
And it was around the beginning of the PG era, like 2009, 2010, that I started to kind of fall off with a brief, very briefly between the Summer of Punk and John Cena The Rock Once in a Lifetime 1.
Okay.
When I was back to being more of a full-time wrestling fan, because it, like, okay, this reminds me a little bit from what I loved when I grew up with. And then I came back to it around WrestleMania 31 out in Santa Clara, California.
Okay.
It was the one when Seth had the Money in the Bank and cashed in on Brock and Roman. And that's when I kind of went back to it full time, because I'm like, oh yeah, no, the WWE Network's $10 a month. I can get any pay-per-view I want. I can go and watch whenever I want. And once 2016 hit, going into WrestleMania 32, and especially that Royal Rumble, where after I fell in love with WWE, I had a friend of mine show me Impact, or at the time, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling.
Yeah, TNA. That's actually
TNA.
I actually know it as TNA. Okay. Wait, they changed it to Impact?
Yeah, they've changed it. Their show was TNA Impact. Now they're just completely known as Impact Pro Wrestling.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. TNA Impact.
So I remember watching AJ Styles for the first time and going, okay, like, that's a good guy. I like him.
Like a Johnny Morris, things like that. Or I guess, was he Johnny Morrison when he was on TNA?
No, he was Johnny Impact by the time he got there.
Something was. He was. I thought he was something else.
But like, that's what I fell in love with that era. So once it got to that like real campy PG stuff, I kind of fell off a little, and then got back to it in the mid-teens, and really haven't left. And now we've got AEW. The NWA is back on the rise. You've got all these other promotions. No, ECW is no longer a thing. That essentially got replaced by NXT as like a televised developmental league.
Okay. That was another one that I watched quite a bit, was the ECW. I watched that a fair amount. With
where a lot of people got their first look at CM Punk, their first look at Bobby Lashley.
With the oh dude, Bobby Lashley. Oh, don't get me started. Or Sandman, the bamboo stick. Absolutely love them.
Oh, the Sandman is great. They don't put it on Peacock, obviously, but his entrance at the 2005 ECW One Night Stand, where the entire Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City is singing Enter Sandman by Metallica. Nothing better, awesome. Kid. Nothing better.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Of course, the game is
Oh,
on our local Fox channel, so I am watching a commercial for my local Fox network out of Greenville, South Carolina, and we actually had a tornado touch down in my county.
oh, okay.
And I was working that night. I switched my hours from day to night, and it was about a mile and a half from where I
Hmm.
was working. I'm like, oh shit. So, like, when the power went out, what was that for? Was that because the tornado was close by, or was that just like a flicker? So, shit was nuts.
Oh, definitely wild, dude. Tornadoes aren't a joke. I
Mm.
I will admit that I do take tornadoes lightly, but I shouldn't. I definitely shouldn't.
So, everybody I work with, they all know that I come from Massachusetts and the frozen north. And they went and asked, Kev, what would you rather deal with? A tornado or a blizzard? Before they can even finish saying the word blizzard, I'm like, oh, a blizzard. I know how to handle one of those. A tornado, I don't know shit from Shinola.
Yeah, tornado. At least in my opinion, coming from a rather misfortunate family that their basement isn't finished. That just means you go down to the basement and you sit in the dark for until things cool down. Like that's all it was. I guess I don't know if there's any other way that you're supposed to deal with it, but that's how I always learned.
It was definitely interesting. Oh, that's not how you spell halftime. Pressing all the buttons.
I'm assuming Lee's response of "yeah, he is" probably calling Aaron Rodgers a douche.
Yeah, that's in response to Rogers. It's a certain somebody that I was figuring would be in here to go and defend his boy, but don't know where he is.
Is that certain someone, Casey?
KC
Or sorry, CK.
or CK.
CK.
Yeah, I'm like KC. Yeah, no, I'm surprised that CK hasn't come in here.
Yeah, he's not in here talking trash. See that Nick popped in,
But
let's go Giants, even though I don't know why Nick wants the Giants to move along.
I mean, that might just be a needling thing.
Might be.
You know?
I can say with
Kinda.
the utmost honesty that Vikings fans as a whole need to simmer the fuck down. Okay? I'm in so many Vikings groups and I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing, oh, well, when we're looking at the 49ers, we're playing the Giants. We're playing the Giants. Giants. Oh, well, we should get rid of Adam Thielen this offseason and we should try and use him to pick up more picks. No. We're playing the Giants. Why are we focusing on anything else besides beating the Giants? And people always say, oh, it's because you got to look ahead. You got to look ahead. You got to see the future. You got to see the future, Draven. Yes, I understand you have to see the future. But when it comes to, like, what I would say are, like, franchise-changing directional things, you need to pay attention to that. Winning a Super Bowl should be the only focus right now. Not saying that's necessarily going to happen. I hope so. If it, dude, honestly, Kevin, if it happens, I'll shave my head. I'll Mr. Clean it. I'll be just squeaky. Just take a floor buffer to the top of my head. Just Just yeah, just make that shit
Shine it
nice
up
and
real
clean.
good.
Yes, if that happens, I'll do it. Okay, sign me up. But until that point, don't look to the future unless basically all options are bleh, unless they've all blown up. It doesn't make any sense to go, oh, well, let's look at the off season and see what we'll do then. Okay, so then you're just detracting from the time that you should be putting towards the game plan in which you're going to be putting into practice on Sunday. How about we do that? I got into a lot of arguments. A lot of people got very upset with me about me saying, hey, how about we stop putting the cart before the horse and we just go to Sunday and we try and win, and then we can start talking about San Francisco. And everyone's like, why did you do that? Because I'm not stupid. It's kind of rude to say, but what, do you not agree, Kevin? Do you put the cart
No,
before the horse?
sorry. I'm like half listening because I'm doing a couple of things. This is what happens with ADHD. I get focused on something, everything else just goes like tunnel visioned out, and then it's like, wait, what? Oh shit, reality. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No, I think you were talking about what, like, people need to relax and all that. Like, I,
Are getting ahead of
I'm currently
themselves.
going through it here as a Red Sox fan. Xander Bogaerts leaves. That upset me dearly. You signed Devers. You seem to be missing out on all these other free agent signings, trade opportunities. Now Trevor Story's out with an injury. Um, you still haven't addressed second base. Now you have to address shortstop. You still need a starting pitcher to go and help out because you can't rely on Sale. And you've got fans that are looking at all this and understandably being negative, but almost too negative. And then you got the other side where they're almost being too positive to compensate. And then you got me and a couple other guys in the middle on Twitter that are like, guys,
You're calling a duck a duck.
relax.
You're like
Stop. Just chill for a minute and see what happens. Latest thing is, if the Red Sox wanted to sign Elvis Andrews, they would have done it already. It's like, well, maybe they're having a tough time because maybe Andrews wants a certain dollar figure and the Red Sox can't meet it, but they're trying to make things work. Maybe they're exercising other options. Maybe they're trying to see if Marcelo Meyer is going to be able to come up earlier. Maybe they're trying to trade for somebody. And let's say San Diego to try to get Hwasung Kim. Elite shortstop.
mm,
Batting could be better, but elite shortstop defense. Would love to go and have him. Apparently, the price tag is too high. They want Tanner Houck, and they want a couple of the pieces. And a couple of the pieces being, we want a couple more, like, not top prospects, but higher end prospects. And it's like, maybe Bloom is trying, Chaim Bloom, the president of baseball ops for the Red Sox, maybe he's like, I really don't feel comfortable giving, all that for him. Like, he's, to me, it's just not worth it. It could be something like that. Um, like, I don't know. Like, something's going to give, obviously, because if you go into spring training and opening day with Christian Arroyo as your second baseman, you still got a question mark at shortstop, there's going to be issues. So hopefully they sign somebody. But, and even if you move Kike Hernandez from center field to shortstop, because he played shortstop for the Dodgers for a while,
mm,
now you got to go find a center fielder. Unless you're going to
mm.
trust Jaron Duran to be in center field. And now you've got an outfield of Rob Refsnyder, Alex Verdugo, and Jaron Duran. So, like, there's so many question marks. So I understand the fans being negative. I understand the fans trying to remain positive despite all, like, it's like in the Scooby-Doo movie. When Scooby smacks Shaggy, yeah, I needed that. Boom, I needed that too. Boom,
Pressing your
Trevor
luck,
Story
Scoob.
going down is pressing my luck, Scoob. Or, sorry, hang on, I can do a pretty good Shaggy. You know, losing Xander Bogaerts. Boom. Oh, I needed that. Boom. Having something else happen with the Red Sox. I needed that too. Trevor Story going down. You're pushing your luck, Scoob.
No, it's very true, and like back. I guess the best comparison that I can say is it's like when Vikings fans towards Kirk Cousins is another great analogy for this. To where I swear to God, the Vikings fan base is completely split. It's either I hate Kirk, I hope he dies, or Kirk himself is my dad. And those and I'm
There
sitting
is
here
no in between.
yeah, and I'm sitting here in the center and I'm like, dude, like he can be great. Yes. He's not very consistent. He doesn't play very well in the big spotlight. Oh well, this arbitrary time that he did. Yes, but in the grand scheme of things, if you look at the statistics, he sucks in primetime. I'm sorry. It is just a fact. It is a blatant fact. Like, I don't get why people try and, like, they try and be like this nuanced one-time thing that happened 45 years ago. That is the reality of the situation that we are currently in. No, he's a really good quarterback who can play with the best when he's on, but also can play with the worst when he's off. He's a perfect, probably top 12 quarterback. Top 12 to, I would say maybe at the highest I'd put him as like a 7 or an 8. If I were honest.
Or to like rank Kirk Cousins amongst the other quarterbacks?
Yeah, like type of situation.
Yeah, no, I think an 8 might be on the high end for me. I'd probably put him more.
That would be like, but when he's playing lights out, he's an 8.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. When he's an 8, it's playing like he was before the Green Bay game. You know, in that stretch of like 4 or 5 weeks where he just was on the money, on the money, on the money.
Kirk Thuggins.
You know, Kirk Swag or whatever the nickname was earlier in the season. But he dips down to, I think with me, I would probably dip him as low as 13, but probably no lower when he plays like he did against Green Bay or against Dallas. So that type of Kirk is like, okay, middle of the road type of quarterback. We'll try to get you in there or get garbage points. But that's it.
That's how we start. Diesel Dalvin Tomlinson. Quick side note, Michael Pierce can get fucked. He literally signed with us 1 year, played like 3 snaps, and was like, this team is the suck a railroad spike, okay? Princess, Jesus. You don't sign with a team, don't play at all, because you're supposed to be a key factor at defensive tackle, and then you want to badmouth the team? Okay. I'm glad you've become forgotten. I don't even know where he went.
Yeah, there's some that I'm like, oh god, we had to sign this guy.
Here. Let's see.
All right. So still a 17-14 score going into the third quarter. Oh, you get a big picture of me. Oh, wow. All right, right, so Saquon Barkley with a catch and run on a 3rd and 3 that puts the Giants into Viking territory. Oh yeah, designed play. It's now 1st and 10 from the Viking 44. Shotgun set. Daniel Jones flushed out of the pocket on the move to 18 for a lot. Hodgins with what looks like a almost 30-yard catch and run. 32. 32. And
We're back.
welcome back, Draven.
Yeah, I look and they're at the 10-yard line. What the fuck happened?
Saquon Barkley with a catch and run on 3rd and 3, and then just now Isaiah Hodgkins with a 32-yard catch and run.
Ah, good lord.
Hodgkins' run, if he had been stopped where he caught it, would have. Ooh, that's not bad. It would have been stopped at the. It would have been like a 2nd and 1 had he been stopped there. Ooh. 31st in the league is just for a playoff team. It's like, how are you a playoff team?
Yeah.
That reminds me of the Patriots
years.
It reminds me of the lean years with the Patriots from like 09 to 2012, 2013 when they were always dead last. Wow. When they were dead last in pass protection. Or not pass protection, in pass defense. Oh. Yeah, this is not turning into a great game for a Vikings fan. Or if you don't like the Giants.
But hey, I always have faith because our team has done some crazy things this year.
Look, Ed, I get you, okay? Look, the story with Super Bowl 51.
Mm-hmm.
The story with Super Bowl 51. They were down 28-3, and I took my bottle of bourbon, went into my bedroom, put on the Xbox, started to play Diablo 3, and put on the radio broadcast because if I'm going to be miserable during this Super Bowl, let's go and be miserable with people who are as miserable as me. And it was about the strip sack from Donta Hightower that I'm like, all right, there's something brewing here because they just scored a field goal. It's now 28-12, and they got a strip sack. What's going on here? And that's when I stopped and finished the rest of the game out. So I don't ever count teams out.
Like I'm a massive Brady fan, so everything you're saying is just reminiscent. Like when they were down 23.5, I was like, it is Tom Brady, and he's probably super pissed off that he threw that pick six.
Yep. I do not count them out, even when you know, like, the national title game last week between Georgia and TCU. You know, like, yeah, I'm not counting TCU out, but like at 55-7, you probably can.
I think at college it's a lot more likely you can count out than when it comes to like grown men with livelihoods on the line. Because you got to think of how many people, if you're even associated with a playoff team, you're sniffing at least another opportunity. Even if you're a second stringer on a playoff team, you will, I'm not gonna say always, but you are a lot more likely to get a second opportunity than someone who's on a non-playoff team. Because you know the culture, you know what it takes to win. That's the crazy thing is like when you start doing great things, for some reason it starts to compound. It's because you start to learn what it means to be a champion. So like that's why I love Kevin O'Connell as a coach, because he's coming off a year. He just won the Super Bowl. First year as a head coach, 13-4. I'm ecstatic for the future. I will admit I am nervous about this team because our defense, I'm about to start just bashing my head on this table because I don't know why we're so soft in coverage. Because what's insane is we're not even bad. We're not even bad. Our front seven, left to right, on like a general 4-3 scheme would be Danielle Hunter, Harrison Phillips, Dalvin Tomlinson, Zadarius Smith, in whatever order that they want to try and create. Linebacker, you got Hakeem Hicks, Eric Kendricks. To be honest, I'm not that familiar with our third this year. I feel like we play a lot of nickel. On the outside, we've got Patrick Pearson, Cam Dantzler, Duke Shelley, who's been playing pretty solid, Chandler Sullivan, when he's been healthy, has been pretty solid. And then at safety, we have Harrison Phillips, Andrew Bynum, and I wish he was healthy, but I wish we had Lewis Cine. I wish we had Lewis Cine to actually be our free safety. Those are all very salvageable names and very solid names. So that tells me that our current defensive coordinator is a moron. Because our pass rush, also with our pass rush depth, we have DJ Wanham and Patrick Jones the second. Those aren't bad options either. DJ Wanham got like 8 sacks last year. Like, he's a pretty sound rusher. If you were to just rotate those guys so everyone's fresh all the time and just pin the ears back, put your fucking hand in the dirt, and just go, we would be, and we were pushing and pressing. Like, I have a lot of faith in our guys individually, and I don't get why it appears that our defensive coordinator doesn't. Is it because he tries to do that same thing against our wide receivers? Well, guess what? I'm sorry. Our wide receivers are really fucking good. You can't run that against them. The Giants are not really good on offense. This should not be happening. I should not see Danny Dimes like donuts doing what he's doing. I swear to God. I knew it. Please. No! Sorry. I'm a little ahead of you, so I'm probably kind of ruining the game.
Yeah, I just saw the interception.
Yep, that's why I took a sip and said, nice.
Yeah, let's see what the flag is.
Yeah, that's what I was curious.
You've probably already seen what the flag is.
Well, just so you know.
Nope, that is not an interception.
I was going to say, if that interception counts, I'm rioting. I am tired of the refs taking their meat and just slapping it on my forehead with every call that they make regarding the Vikings. It is ridiculous. You laugh, but I'm kind of serious.
Hey, phrasing!
So many just blatantly bad calls. Is that TOS? Is that terms of service? Is that okay to say?
No, you were okay with saying slapping meat. It's almost the same as Big E going, I want to see big meaty men slapping meat.
Giggity.
Oh, God. Good
Oh,
Lord.
man.
Just.
Yeah, there's Hawkinson again with another great grab.
No, you know what? While we're on the topic of refs screwing people, just so you know, when you and I played each other in fantasy, if I wouldn't have been screwed by the refs for 3 touchdowns, I would have actually beat you. Brian Robinson's touchdown and the 2 defensive touchdowns by the Vikings. That's 18 points.
Well, y'all benefited from the fact that the NFL refs decided to add into the catch rule book a phrase that hasn't been used since 2018 to rule Hunter Henry's touchdown catch not a catch.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh!
Dude,
Thielen had a touchdown if he wasn't leaning too far to the right. Now, this is the Kirk Cousins that you see.
See, but this is what I'm talking about. So we're like, I can't say that we're ever out. Because I do feel like Kevin O'Connell actually truly believes, like, whether we're down 24 right now or we're down 3, like we can be in this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all can absolutely be in this. It's 1st and goal from the 9 currently for me.
Like, Mike Zimmer is, although enjoyable,
he was a defensive-minded coach.
He was all he was a
couldn't get the right guy for the offensive coordinator position. Kevin O'Connell is that young, bright Sean McVay offensive mind who is doing the opposite of Zimmer. He just can't seem to get a good defensive guy in there. But it's only year 1.
Correct. And I believe I think this year is better than Zimmer's best year. I think Zimmer's best year he went 12-4.
Yeah, I think so. Like, they went 13-4 this year, right?
Yeah, 13-4 this year. No. We went 13-3 in 2017. So
look at that.
But again, that was like 3 years into his tenure and whatnot. Dude, Irv Smith needs to figure out what his face paint situation is. That looks ridiculous. He like just took that eye mask stuff, just took his hand and just
you see like a lot of players just like slap it on. See, I would definitely, me being a video game person, I'd be taking like hints from Skyrim or like the Warcraft series. Mm-hmm. And I would be doing like, some up here. Like, I do war paint.
I was gonna say, dude, that's what I would do. Like, is like some war paint situations. Like, have you seen like even Event Horizon? Like, that's a really good, like, that face paint is mint.
And you know what? I know that the NFL under Roger Goodell, it's all about standardization. Everything is the same. We do not differentiate anything.
Into the military.
All the logos are the same. All the face masks are the same. Looking at OCU Manura's face mask back in the day was terrifying because of just how it looked. I'll go in.
I loved Ray Lewis's when he did like the mesh mask, where it was like intertwined like this, like you saw his face and it's like this. But he also had that black visor. Like, I loved that. I thought that looked slick.
All right, here we go. But yes, this.
Yeah, that's actually that. Not exactly,
but
that's
one of those like, you can't get your fingers in here. You can't do face masks against me. And seeing this is like, oh shit.
Yes, I would prefer not having a face mask done to me.
But now it's like, nope, everything needs to be the same. Integrity of the shield.
Especially with shoes. Or cleats.
Oh, God.
That drives me nuts. When people are so...
How about... What was it I forget the player now, but he dragged like 4 or 5 defenders with him on a run, turned around. I think it was Elijah Mitchell for San Francisco. Or it might have been somebody else, but he turned around after dragging 4 or 5 defenders and counted the guys behind him as like, not as like a taunt, but just like, oh hey, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys took to take me down after a while, and the NFL fined him for that because that was unnecessarily taunting. It's like, God, the NFL really is a no fun league.
Yeah, I can understand that. I truly don't understand why you can't have some showmanship in your work. Every other place does it. NBA, dude, they'll posterize, they'll sit there and like,
yeah, they'll posterize and do one of these. Hockey does not really do it because hockey is very much the embodiment of the team. Like, the team got us to this goal. But you'll go and see, before they all get in celebration on the ice, you'll see a player do a fist pump. But that's about what they'll do. Or they'll do, like, the guitar celly.
Yeah.
But that's it. They don't really do too much showboating stuff. And baseball just has this whole old school rules, unwritten rules, act like you've been there before. The very famous one of recent years, Madison Bumgarner telling Max Muncy, don't pimp your home run. And then Muncy just going, well, then go get your ball out of the harbor. I want players that will go and look at these unwritten rules things and go, this is why nobody wants to play our game. Because, you got to act like you can't pimp the home run out. No, let him fucking pimp the home run. Let him take the baseball bat and, take it like it's a fucking shotgun and just go ba-bam. And do that type of a bat flip. Let them be showboat. You're going to get people to watch.
Yeah, one, you got to get people to watch. But two, dude, you are playing, like, the thing that I swear these businessmen forget. And I myself am a businessman. Like, I totally understand kind of where they're coming from. But it is a child's game that people go to watch because they wish that they could do it. And because they love the game themselves and they admire the fact that they are able to do it at such a high level. So if you grind 60 hours a week to play an hour game, yeah, you deserve to showboat a little bit because you worked harder than everyone. It doesn't always necessarily equate to that, but if you're better than them and you can kind of get that psychological factor and kind of, like, beat your opponents like in the head, guess what? That's just another facet of the game. Don't be so weak-minded. I'm sorry. Don't be weak-minded. Don't let that get to you if you're the opposition.
Oh, absolutely. Like, if you, if you're like the Jose Bautista bat flip from a few years ago, where he went and swung, what an epic home run by him, and he flings the bat off to the side. It wasn't in a big showboat. It was just one of those like this is my moment to shine, and did I just shine.
Exactly.
And there were people saying that he was showboating, that he needs to know, that we don't appreciate that in baseball. It's like, no wonder people don't want to watch. No wonder people don't want to consume your product. You want the Mike Trouts. And Mike Trout's a fantastic ball player, but he's boring as shit. Okay? Like, I know this is an overused saying, but I'd rather watch paint dry than to see Mike Trout go and talk in a press conference. Hell, Shohei Ohtani is more more interesting than Mike Trout, and he doesn't have the greatest grasp of English.
I guess I'm not as familiar with modern baseball, but I guess another analogy that I can make is for people who are more familiar with like MMA, like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is a fantastic representation of how to build anything and how to create showmanship where people watch. And he delivered. And guess what? If you can do that, that's where the money is. Why do you think Conor is so wealthy? He wouldn't be half as wealthy if he would have just kept his mouth shut and been like,
yeah.
and
if Conor McGregor was one of those like no nonsense type of fighters that just comes in and I mean, hell, you go and look in the world of pro wrestling. The people who made money are not the people, you know, and this is something I can talk about off the top rope in other shows. They're the ones that open their mouths and have a ton of charisma coming out and don't need to have 50 million moves to get themselves over. Hulk Hogan had 3. John Cena had 5. Stone Cold had 4. The Undertaker had 5.
Goldberg had like 3.
Goldberg 3. Spear, jackhammer, and various forms of clotheslines and shoulder tackles.
Yep.
Ultimate Warrior had 2. Military press slam, body splash. That's it. That's all he needed. Because Ultimate Warrior could go and get you. Oh!
That's what we're talking about. He was a master at marketing. Like, he knew how to get people's attention.
He knew how to get everybody's attention. He knew how to go and captivate the audience. Hulk Hogan knew how to captivate the audience. The Undertaker knew how to captivate the audience. He just did his in a different way.
Yeah, his was like a made your skin crawl kind of way.
A little bit.
Oh my God. Do you know how many times where like you'd be sitting there, you'd be watching, like, I'm just thinking like early, like mid 2000s, I'd be watching as a kid and like, you know, a match would conclude and then all of a sudden you hear dong, and then everything goes black and you have that blue lighting and then a little bit of smoke and then you're like, where is he? Like, is he gonna come up from the floorboards? Is he gonna come up from the crowd? Like, where is he coming from? Where is he?
Yeah,
like,
but like, oh God, those are the ones that made the most money.
Like, it's just crazy.
Had Stone Cold stayed as the ringmaster, Steve Williams would probably not be the man he is today. He wouldn't have been Stone Cold Steve Austin. He would have just been the ringmaster, and he probably would have been out of the WWE within a year.
I don't know if you're familiar with like UFC that much, but like Chael Sonnen is an example of someone who I think like Chael Sonnen walked so that way McGregor could run. Chael Sonnen, even now with his vocabulary and how he sells fights, he is so witty off the top of the head, but he'll just continue to flow with it. Like, you want to watch him fight, and he's a damn good fighter, but I don't think he's quite the fighter that McGregor is, or at least if you were to compare him, you know, now to then. But if Chael Sonnen were around now, he would be a national treasure, or he would be expelled to the lowly island. Like, just because of how well he is able to just talk trash and get under people's skin and really make it interesting.
Totally. You know, so it's like, I'm fine with players, you know, having a little bit of showboating, you know, Cam Newton having the Superman pose, you know, all the players doing the gritty after a touchdown. Like, I love it. I think it's great.
Everybody.
You know, when the NFL finally allowed celebrations.
Like, the whole, like, Tyreek's peace out thing, why is that a big deal? I love the workaround to where he has a glove that has someone's hand doing the peace out sign, but so he just opens his glove like this. Like, I love that. Like, why take away the fun of the game? Sitting there saying, oh, well, there's 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, and the play clock's going, there's 38 seconds on the play clock, and the Vikings just got a first down, and we wonder what the next play is gonna be. That's boring as shit. Let's hear some excitement. Let's hear some trash talk. Let's say, you know what? Giants fucking suck. Okay, Vikings need to win. like what's
Giants
so bad
suck,
about
and
that?
so does all the fans of the Giants' mothers. You know, it's like the other part to it. Paul Allen, the radio play-by-play for Minnesota, he's one of the best in the game. He
I'm
really
gonna try
is.
Paul Allen touchdown. Like he, the way that he does it, it's just it sounds.
And he even makes the bad plays, you know, the bad times. He even makes those sound like it's like end of the world. So,
really good radio.
You know what? It's been about we've been doing this about 2 hours now.
Yeah.
And we're getting close to the end of the third quarter. It's almost the fourth quarter, and we haven't really given much love to these guys. What's poppin' corn snacks? We're sorry, guys.
Poppin'.
But y'all, they're the best gourmet popcorn around, pound for pound. Legit. I mean that with the most sincerity. They really are the best. I love it whenever I go and have them. The sucker punch is great. The dill pickle flavor, I love it.
What's crazy is like I'm not even like a popcorn, like I don't mind popcorn. Like honestly, it's always been like, you know, like I don't mind it. The way that they season it and flavor it, and just even like when they coat it, it's all like even. Most of the time when I get like a caramel corn and stuff, like some of them are caramel, some of them aren't. Like What's Poppin' doesn't mess around. They definitely, and their flavors are on point. I actually enjoy their popcorn, even though, and again, I'm not a big popcorn guy, but I enjoy their popcorn.
No, their popcorn is so good. I can't wait to go and get some more. The movie butter's great. The red hot cinnamon was great. It's all fantastic. I love it.
And they also they change up flavors a lot. And they also like to follow a lot of sports things. So they will do team-based flavors as well, like they have done in the past. Like, did they do a Nets? Is the Nets?
They did a Houston Astros World Series championship.
So they did
they also have other different flavors to go and help out us. You go and use code SLG Network, and you go and get 20% off of your order. And it's a $6 bag of popcorn. So you're saving $1.20 every time you go and buy a bag of popcorn. So that's like a no-brainer. And I'm no popcorn guy myself. I used to work in a movie theater. I have horror stories about popcorn from working there. But I love this stuff. I will make the exception for these guys. So once again, it's What's Poppin' Corn Snacks. You're going to go to what'spoppincornsnacks.com. You're going to go and use the code SLG Network to go and get 20% off. And it's the best gourmet popcorn around, pound for pound. And we've also got a neat little commercial for y'all to be able to go and watch too, because don't just take our word for it. Go take theirs too. That's a good commercial. Bought my head, so I'm making another screwdriver. I like it. Dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it.
Apologies, just got back. Dude, so the one that I saw that I didn't know that we had, the churro. I don't know. That sounds ooh. I love a good churro.
Yeah, that sounds good too.
Have you had the Did y'all sell popcorn? No, we're sponsored by What's Poppin' Corn Snacks, and they do a fantastic job. Honestly, check out their popcorn. It really is just the flavor and the amount of different flavors that they have. It's mint. Mwah! Chef's kiss. I was curious, have you had any of the caramel cheddar? That was the only flavor that I saw. I was like, that seems like fitting because of just how things can be, but is it good?
So I have not had that one. I don't even think I've had their caramel one. Just because like I've had caramel corn at like Cracker Jack, and I kind of like, no, I've had it before. It's fine.
I'm sorry, I'm not a big caramel corn guy. It gets all up in my teeth and just like.
Well, that's one of the reasons why
there,
I'm
not a big
popcorn
fan.
person anyway. Like it just gets stuck in my teeth, and I'm like, oh, crap.
I just wasn't sure if the caramel cheddar was good. Like I said, I'm just not a big caramel corn guy. I'm not bad mouthing. I'm just saying it's not my cup of tea.
So I'm looking at the back of my screen, and I have a picture of Fenway Park.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see my second screen. So y'all, you can watch the game with me. Oops. Oh well, it's not like anyone's gonna.
So while we're on commercial, I heard you talking previously that you were big into video games. What's your video game genre? Maybe we'll go with genre.
So it's usually one of four, and I list them in order. RTS, or real-time strategy, which does include like your grand strategy games like a Crusader Kings 3, or like a Civ 6.
Okay.
I'm
a big Civ guy, so I'm familiar. That's good.
Warcraft, so like the old Warcraft games, the old Diablo games.
Okay.
Any game that you have to do like base building and defense and attack, like Northgard from oh crap, I forget the name of they're a French video game company that also has War Tales and a couple other games that are real good. But I played Northgard quite a bit. Huh?
You said it's a tower defense?
No, it's an RTS.
Okay.
But in Northgard, you go and get one tile, and you expand by going into neighboring tiles, defeating the enemies if you have to. You always in Northgard, when you start a multiplayer or single player game, you always start with your home tile, and then there are 2 tiles next to you that are free to take. And then every other tile after that, you have to attack and defeat what's within to get it.
Oh, okay. And so almost like a Civ Revolution type of thing, right? You have to conquer and conquest.
Yes. Okay. There's other ways to go and win the game. You can win via trade. You can win via. Oof, that sucked.
Like advancements, probably. So is it pretty much Civilization Revolutions?
Kind of.
In a nutshell.
And it's based off of Viking mythology and lore.
Ooh. Interesting.
So a lot of Norse mythology is used. All the clans they have, your typical Norse names. Many different clans to go and choose from. You win by domination or other ways of victory, wisdom, lore, whatever it might be. Very fun game. Then after RTS, it's RPG. So like a Skyrim.
It's like Skyrim, Borderlands. things in
Skyrim,
that next one.
Borderlands,
Fallout.
Fallout. Oh, I loved it. So I loved Fallout New Vegas, and then I'm like, I don't think I'd ever get another Fallout game. This is just too good. And then Fallout 4 came out. It was going to be based in the Boston area. So it's kind of like how I got a friend of mine who she's like, I'm not a fan of Grand Theft Auto. I only have GTA 5 because it's based in LA where I grew up. And I went, yep, fair enough. I got Fallout 4 for the same reason. It's just Boston and not LA. You know? So it's like,
Oh, that's funny.
um, but at other art, oh, that's going to be close.
Yeah, this is
Um,
it's gonna be close. I hate seeing the Vikings kind of shoot themselves in the foot here.
hmm. So next one is like your simulation games. It's like The Sims or some of like your tycoons, like Roller Coaster Tycoon or Zoo Tycoon.
So that's short. That's short. That's definitely short. It's close. Ezra Cleveland, thank you for being the fucking manimal you are. You're like, I'm just gonna push 5 men. I love that he went in there. That's a you'll see that's nutty. All right, let's go. Let's go for it. I don't care. 4th and 1, do it. Unless they change their mind. Are they changing their mind? Oh wait, never mind. They're still deciding it. I'm ruining everything. So you like story-based games?
Yes, story-based games.
Or experience-based? Or experience-based?
More story-based.
Okay.
You know, like the Spider-Man game, the more recent Spider-Man games to the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Those ones, like, I love the story. I could care less about the experience and leveling up your character. Like, I've never been an achievement hawk. Like, I'd rather be entertained with the story and play through it than to, you know, get all this experience. It's why I used to be a very heavy Destiny player, and then I stopped once it became too much of a grind.
That's fair. I
Like,
think that's a
I
really fair
I've
statement.
I've played MMORPGs like a Destiny, like a World of Warcraft, and after a while, it's just like I gotta play this every day for hours on end just to like level up. And I don't like doing that.
That's how I felt
You
with
know, I
like Ark. Are you familiar with Ark?
yep.
Loved Ark. Absolutely loved it. I still love it, but I can only do it on a personal server or a server with some friends. I can't do just the live stuff. It just is so grindy,
Mm.
and people are just so unrelenting because you'll spend 16 hours, 16 real life hours to do something, and then someone will kill it in 3 minutes. And you're like, I'm so glad. Oh no. Okay, that's
Oh
all right.
no.
We got Greg Joseph. Okay, we got Greg Joseph.
Yeah,
I don't,
who's good kicker.
I don't like it, but yeah. See, this is basically a PAT. Go blue. Yeah, I saw Jermaine.
Other like sim games I like to
Yeah,
play,
go
like The
blue.
Sims or
Go
anything.
home instead of go
Well, yeah.
blue. Go home or go blue. Go home.
Um, no, but I like city builder games like Anno 1800 or City Skyline or the old
Okay,
Sim City games. Like those are
I'm
also
familiar with
some
those.
fun games to play.
I haven't gotten
Um,
too big into those. I played a couple of them.
and it's shooter games, you know, like a Halo. I was a big Halo fan until Halo 5. Um, Halo 5 really kind of sucked me out of it. And then Halo Infinite came back and brought me back a little bit, and then the Halo
Hmm.
TV series on Paramount Plus pretty much killed it for good. Like I
I've
haven't
heard.
touched Halo Infinite. I
I've heard
haven't
those.
watched the rest of Halo. Oh, I watched the first episode, saw the end of the first episode. I won't spoil it in case people want to watch, because I'd rather people watch this one. And I just was like, yeah, nope, I think I'm good. You know, Halo Infinite
Hey,
got
it is
repetitive with
not
the same
Barkley time.
stuff. Oh, I hated it. Then obviously I played your Call of Duty games.
Yeah,
Um, your Battlefields, Destiny, like I
things
mentioned.
like that. That's fair. Yeah. Do
But
you do any sports games? As a big man of sports, do you do any sports games?
I used to until they said, oh, a brand new feature is just like a tiny tweak of last year's brand new feature. There was a tiny tweak of the previous year's
Ray,
brand new feature.
Ray, hey, I know how to contact you. Don't be saying things like that. Like
TOS
you.
be damned.
Dude, I'm a huge sports. I guess I can't say I'm as huge as I used to be, but I'm definitely a big sports video game player. I This was probably the most grindy I've ever been on a sports game. It was Madden 2012, I think. I was in the top 5% of Madden players with my record and stuff. And I was always, I mean, even now if I were to probably grind out, like I think I'm still like a top 20%. Yeah, I do know the Vikings are cursed. Yes, I understand that, Jermaine. It's less than ideal being a Viking fan because I know the Vikings. The I guess I said it earlier in the show. I don't know if you were here, but I know the Vikings like to Viking, and they like to just either win by 3 or lose by 40. Like those are the two extremes. Yeah, FIFA 23 and NHL 23. Okay, okay. See, I haven't gotten last FIFA I played was I think FIFA 18, and I haven't played an NHL game in probably 2011 maybe. So I've fallen off with it, but that's only because EA Sports as everything, I hate them. And they do all they do is just copy paste the same game with same broken mechanics. And when people play me and they use broken plays and then they talk shit like they're good, it makes me want to physically break my setup instead of just accidentally breaking my setup.
I'm in agreement with you and with Ray on EA. Look, I'm a massive, if you couldn't tell with some of the shit I have behind me on my bookcase, massive Star Wars fan. To the tune of I have the behind me the VHS box set from back in 1992. Okay,
Just so you know, I
I got
wasn't born,
some.
so I couldn't get that same box set.
I got some cool shit. Now I do not have a VCR to go and play that.
That's crazy.
Um,
92 box set. So, my God, a 30-year-old box set. I'm assuming probably
yeah,
still in condition and everything.
it's still in great condition. I don't have a
Great.
VCR to go and play the tapes. But maybe one day I'll get a VCR. And you can go and watch before the 1997 special edition changes, and then the 2002 DVD changes, and then the 2004 DVD, and then the 2008 Blu-ray, and then the Blu-ray disc change. Oh God, change. Um, but when EA took over for the Star Wars Battlefront franchise, the first EA Battlefront game was the Drizzle and Shits. And then Battlefront 2 came out. They actually had a story. It actually was okay. And then they decided to not do anything for it anymore. And we've had to rely on mods ever since.
That's true. And so what Ray was saying was actually very true. I'm a big believer in 2K. I loved 2K5.
Yes.
Oh my God. So the fact that EA bought out the rights to the NFL to just produce a shittier game year after year after year and just progressively gets worse, and then they throw in old mechanics like they're new, and they're like, look at this new thing that we had back 20 fucking years ago, but we'll just make it sound new. It's not new.
I could understand 2K Sports doing that with the WWE games because they didn't have all the codes that Ukes had for all the WWE SVR 07, SVR 08. but when it came to 2K20, everybody panned that one. So they took a year off and they went to
You missed it then.
2K22,
You
which is
missed the first
great.
touchdown. You missed the gritty. He scored the first touchdown of the game. It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't doubt that he's not gonna score another one. Stick around. We'll watch together. Hell, if he scores, I'll gritty with you. All right. I got faith. I got faith.
Nice defensive play. It's not going to be pass interference.
Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Oh, that sucks. Ugh. But Ray made a good point about the MLB The Show games here. Because there's only two sports games I will buy religiously, and it's The Show because baseball, and the WWE wrestling games because wrestling.
Okay.
All the other ones, they're all pretty much the same thing every single time. It feels like, especially where, like, what type of innovations besides VR can we get into?
I feel like WWE, though, I do feel that game kind of fell off. Granted, I have not played it. Let's see, the last version that I played was 2014, I think. But
Okay,
I played all of the all the original SmackDowns versus, and then when they started going into like the SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown versus Raw, and they did that whole thing, and then the SmackDown versus Raw with ECW. Like, I did all of that, loved it all, and then it just seems like it just kind of fell off the face of the planet.
So after, excuse me, after the SmackDown versus Raw series, they went to WWE 12. Where it was basically the same as like Madden.
No! Madden I swear to God, if they count that fucking play. They did! Oh, referees! Dude,
wow.
All
right.
I feel like I'm
all right, come on. What's the replay look like?
You'll see. He loses complete control when that other foot comes up. And then he re-secures it with one foot down. And then they just gave it to him. They're like, oh, Merry Christmas.
And the credit to the Giants for getting up to the line quickly and snapping a ball before KOC could challenge. But there's a chance he might have won because that ball looked like it was juggling a little bit out.
Yeah, the whole time. He's
definitely in, but that ball started to move a little as he went down. Oh. It moved a tiny bit, but he kept... Okay, yeah, no, that was... What the fuck is with the Giants and getting, like, these out-of-this-world catches? Fucking David Tyree, Mario Manningham.
The owner of the Giants paid off everybody. No, they don't get to get away with this with Danny Jones. They can pull off the Eli Manning facade because it was Peyton Manning's brother, but I will not stand for this treason. Oh my gosh.
They haven't run the ball once on this drive.
Fucking Daniel Jones looking like he's Pat Mahomes out here. What was that? 21-28 for 277.
2 tutties, no picks. Kirk doesn't have a pick this game. Like, I don't think he's been picked off today. There he is.
Oh yeah, am I the final show? Have you just been milking it? There's no way we lose, Calvin. And if we do, it's because that Greg Hodgins catch was bullshit. Shouldn't have counted. I'm tired of that happening. I've been waiting. Yeah, I bet you have. He's sitting there just festering with the tip.
Our comment section's great.
Unless, again, if we do it, I'm blaming that Greg Hodges fucking catch. That was not a catch. I'm tired of catches catching when they're not catches. But then on the flip side, catches not catching when they are catches. Ooh, that was caught. He was only... No! No, he wasn't! I swear. Please. Please. One. Okay. Two. But did he actually have control of the ball? Ooh, his heel was close. To be honest, I think he did make it in, but... Oh... This is huge. This is huge. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to stare and try and be as mute as possible.
Yeah, he was short. He was short on that third down. Again, I am... Put this on a t-shirt, by the way, Draven. I'm tired of catches catching when catches didn't catch. That's a great line.
Dude, put it on a t-shirt.
Oh.
Give me some royalties. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, what's that? Oh, dude. Yeah, even Kevin's like, are you serious? I'm so glad we're playing football, so that way if you even touch them. Oh, he's holding when he literally grabbed Pat Pete by the front of his... I love how he gets to play the grab ass and the touchy-feely, but if Pat tries it a little bit, can't do that. No, not happening. Not happening. As weird as this is going to sound, I'm going to say that Andrew Bynum is kind of becoming the Andrew Sendejo.
Oh, jeez.
Type of player, and it's starting to upset me.
Oh, all right. I know it's a giant player, but like the effort right there by Saquon Barkley, they're going to call him short, aren't they?
I can give him the effort. Like I won't disrespect it by saying there's no effort in it, but that Greg Hodgins catch was a big catch that should have never been a catch because it wasn't a catch.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Greg Olson on the TV. The old tube top.
I'm watching some sad, like Sarah McLachlan commercial. What did Greg say?
Greg Olson went and said, "It looks like these two offenses are having their way with the opposing team, and it could come down to whoever has the ball last."
I think that's fair. I do think that's fair.
Yeah. And you know what? Those are some of my favorite games, because it's like I don't want it to be a blowout. Like the San Francisco-Seattle game was close in the first half.
Yeah.
And then San Francisco pulled away. Jacksonville was a great game because of the comeback. Um, the game earlier today between Buffalo and Miami, that was a great game because Buffalo faltered a little and stumbled, and Miami was able to put things together. And maybe Skylar Thompson's not as bad as we think. Um, but I don't know. I'm looking for competitive games. You know, this is the NFL, it's the pros. Though, if this game were to go into overtime, I'm gonna lose it on the overtime. The
You have a
overtime
heart
rules to the playoffs are different. In the overtime now for the playoffs, each team, no matter what the other team does, gets an opportunity. So even if, let's say, the game is tied, Minnesota ties the game up at 31. Um,
if they go into overtime and then say Giants score a touchdown, 38-31, then the Vikings get a chance to rebuttal.
yes, they would get a chance
I know that they were
to
talking
go
about
down the
doing that. I
field,
guess
even if
I didn't
it's
hear any finalizations of that.
so. If the Giants get the ball first, march down, score a touchdown. Minnesota gets the ball. In the regular season, that's the end of the game. The Giants have a touchdown. That's it. It should just go back to sudden death. You know, I subscribe to the John Madden approach when it comes to overtime. There are two sides of the ball. There's three phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. You need to be playing well at all three phases to win the game. Defense is just as much a part as the offense. So your defense is going on to overtime, correct? Correct, yeah. So if your defense cannot stop the offense, you don't deserve to win the game. So overtime should just go back to sudden death. I will die on
Probably.
that hill. And anybody who like in the last year that we've gotten into this discussion, but it's not fair to the other team. These are pros. These are adults. They're not children. Okay? It's not supposed to be fair. If we wanted to go and make this fair, then everybody gets a fair shot. Everybody's 17-0. You're all winners. You all win.
All right. So, on Jermaine's comment, no defense. Are you saying that the Vikings have no defense, or there's no defense in this game? No defense in this game. Pretty accurate. Vikings defense, extremely accurate. Still have. Well, there's still the competition committee voted these rules because they were tired of TB12 smoking them in.
Yeah,
That
well,
might be
you
some
know
of it.
what?
Honestly.
Like, the competition committee, I don't think it was they were tired of TB12 smoking them in overtime. I don't think they cared about that. I think it was the fact they were sick and tired of hearing Kansas City, oh, but 2018, oh, but 2018, oh, it's not fair. We didn't get a shot because we're 12. Oh, well. Blow it up your ass. God, you're fucking adults getting paid millions of dollars while the 18, 19-year-old men and women overseas are getting paid pennies to go and defend the freedom for you to go and whine, bitch, and moan about the overtime rules are not fair. And yet you're going to sit here with a straight face and tell me that you need to change the rules because they're not fair to Patrick Mahomes. Oh, blow it. Blow me, okay? Ugh.
One thing I'll say, like I said, I agree with you. And one thing I'll say, like regarding that is, like as a player, you also need to realize, like it is even as a coach, or even as a coach, as an owner, all of it. I mean, especially as an owner, I promise it was actually the fact that you said that. I agree with that 100%, and I'm glad that it's true because the owners are billionaires. Do you want to know what every billionaire has? A humongous ego. They want to be able to tell other billionaires, hey, fellow billionaire, my fucking team smashed yours. My team is better than yours. The team that I own is better than yours. It's no different than like what day-to-day people do to like, oh, my car is better than yours. My house is better than yours. Like they compete. It's that same level of competition. So what they're trying to do is they're just trying to find another way that they can kind of weasel their way to a win, even though in reality, if you do like what Kevin damn it, I need to use my left arm, like what Kevin suggested, where it's the second that someone loses, they lose. They should admit that they lost, because that is, like he said, there's 3 facets of the game. If you can't stop them or give your offense a chance to then try and get a field goal to win the game, you don't deserve it.
So I understand it was the owners that brought up this change, but don't go and tell me, that the players didn't, like, the players are saints and didn't ever go and mention once, oh, but it's not fair. The players bitch too. The owners are the ones that are able to go and enact the changes. They're all at fault. I have a lot of issues with the NFL. I have a lot of issues with MLB. I heard, which baseball podcast was I listening to the other day? Was Baseball is Dead from DraftKings, hosted by Jared Carrabis and former MLB pitcher, perfect game on Mother's Day for the Oakland Athletics way back in the day. Oh, God, I'm forgetting his name. Jared Carrabis and... Man, that dude.
Why do we keep running screens? It is 2nd and 14.
Well, did he think Matt Patricia's game plan worked?
Our brains are the size of fucking almonds. 2 screen passes to start a drive. Neither of them have worked. Let's do a third. Honestly, fuck it.
I'm just showing the comments. I'm hoping the Vikings can pull this out. I don't want the Giants to move on.
Painful. It's absolutely.
It means a New York team is doing better than the Patriots. I don't like that.
Oh, is that not a horse collar? Do horse collars not count in the tackle box? I'm just saying. To be honest, I actually don't know. Do they count in the tackle box?
So if he grabs him and brings him down, that would have been a horse collar. That would have counted. But he grabbed and then let go.
You gotta flop. Come on. Dude, there's 6 minutes left, Jermaine. I don't think you're familiar with the Vikings. We like coming back. We are 11-0 in 1-score games. So unless they score right now, I don't know.
Why am I not surprised it's a Carrabba's podcast? Kevin over here, Dick Red. Whoa! Where did this come from without a license? Number one, you need to have a license to do that. Number two, so I like a certain guy in baseball, it's kind of like you like Nickelback, you like Five Finger Death Punch, oh, that's so stupid, oh, those are bad bands. It's like, dude, fuck you. I don't go and look at you and say, oh, you like Justin Bieber, you're so stupid.
Okay.
Speaking of Jared Carrabis' podcast, do I have to go and share this one just because, it's the nicknames? Incoming Kevin rant. We already passed that with the overtime rules. No, it was funny. They went and
That's so aggressive.
That's your opinion, man.
Says the one who lives in Louisiana.
And that comment gets this sound clip. No, on Carrabba's Baseball is Dead podcast with Dallas Braden. he went and made it he went and said that Rob Manfred, the commissioner of MLB, is kind of like Nickelback, where he's just
Oh, yeah.
universally hated, but what can you pinpoint to Manfred that's really bad other than the Houston Astros cheating scandal and the punishment or lack thereof on the players?
Live in Houston. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot that Caleb lived in Houston. I'm so used to like the Bayou City Boys. I don't think the Bayou is in Houston.
I wonder why they call themselves the Bayou City Boys, because I've never associated Houston with the Bayou.
I was gonna say, I guess for some reason I must have been completely mistaken. I knew that Nick was from Houston, so the fact that he's also from Houston, but they're called the Bayou City Boys.
Yeah, hey, Nick,
Bayou
Zach,
City?
Caleb.
Caleb, explain to me this.
What?
Riddle me this, Batman. Please tell me how it makes fucking sense. You're saying the Bayou City when the Bayou City is in like Louisiana, like that's a Louisiana territory area.
And here comes Speed Cuz saying there's dirty Bayou-esque water in Houston. Okay.
He's familiar. He's familiar with that area. With the crunchy water. Is that true, Caleb? You got crunchy water down there in Houston?
Third and 1 from the 45?
Oh,
yep, 45.
Oh, fuck. This is getting really, really tight. Oh, God.
And here comes Speed Cuz upsetting everybody in Houston. And then Caleb. Yes, crunchy water.
You can't tell me that they're not going to run like a quick slant or honestly, even like a quarterback power. Ugh. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Who's the half bowl or the Super Bowl halftime? Is that Rihanna?
Yes. Rihanna is the Super Bowl halftime performer this year. Which I don't mind. Here we go. This. Oh. Timeout.
Well, he's fucking 8 feet tall. To be honest, I agree with that. Mickey from Shameless. Well, I don't know who Mickey is, so I don't know if that's a good or accurate statement. Oh yeah, they did it. Well, you called it there, Mr. Speed. See, but if he's not down and the ball gets ripped out of his hands, because you're telling me that he's not laying on 3 other men right now?
That's Mickey from Shameless.
That's Mickey from Shameless. I guess that's not as far off as what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be like some like troglodyte. Fair analogy there. Or fair comparison there, Mr. Caleb. His favorite place. They are Houston fans, yeah.
Vikings are starting to call timeout.
Yeah, this is going to get rough.
Yeah, because they're only down a touchdown.
Yeah. 1 second. Oh, say if they tried to call some bullshit on that. Get his ass. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. See what happens when we just press them at the line of scrimmage? They don't do shit. I just don't get it. Like, what? Why? Like, it's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Like, we are not playing press. We are not pressing them at the line. We are giving them a full yard plus of separation from the get. Caleb, shut up. The fucking Texans suck. And they fucked up the first overall pick.
Did they really fuck up the first overall pick, or did Lovie Smith tell his guys to play hard as one last little dig towards Houston? Which I'm going to say here, what head coach is going to want to go there?
Yeah, exactly. See, Speed knows. Speed knows they fucked up the pick. Get his ass! Finally! Holy shit! He's just fucking chilling there, about to fucking start a campfire and roast some fucking s'mores. Get him, please!
I love this. Lovey was being paid by Chicago. The former team he coached for.
Speed wants to be on a show with me. All right. So, third down. We should get the ball back. Should. It's what, 3rd and 12? 3rd and 14?
3:05. The Vikings call their last time out.
That's beyond ballsy. Yeah. Oh, so 3rd and 15. Yeah. So we should get the ball back. Oh my God. I will shut off my fucking computer. Funky shit.
Vikings are literally going to lose the game and be the same as the Texans. No.
He dropped it!
13 wins.
Fuck! If I see more soft coverage, I'm going to actually fucking lose my mind. I'm going to lose my fucking mind. He's 7 yards off the line. He just got to run a shallow crossing route. 4-3. Yeah, I probably should. Okay, who is Speed? Speed apparently knows that I fell. Who's Speed? You know that I fell, Speed? You like that? You think you're funny? You think you got all the fucking jokes? Take out the whole setup? I did. I did. It's Calvin. Speed? Oh. Calvin's a loser. Not even going by his actual real name. I thought Speed and I were on a team.
Take out your whole seat up.
I refuse.
That should be on a t-shirt too. Whole seat up. All right, let's see what the Vikings can do with less than 3 minutes, no timeouts, and only the 2-minute warning to stop the clock. They got to go.
I'm actually not messing about that.
7 yards.
That statement that I was making about catches, that should be on a shirt. That really should.
Yes. That should be on a shirt for sure.
We'll see. We'll see. Oh my God. All right. Come on, Captain Kirk.
Now, Draven, let me ask you a question. Let's say Kirk is able to get them all the way to the end zone for a touchdown. Are you kicking for overtime or going for the win?
I'm going for the win. I'm going for the win. I'm going to put pressure on the Giants because I'm a man who believes that if you put pressure on people who aren't ready for pressure, like the Giants, we wouldn't even be in this fucking situation. But we don't put pressure. We're like, you know what? Let's see how good you really are. Let's give you 35 feet of coverage. I'll make sure that I'm over here. Okay? All right.
He's backing up so far.
That hurts.
Ooh. Speed, I'll have you know, the Braves used to play in Boston.
Ooh, they were the Boston Braves. That was a while ago, but yeah, that's accurate.
Mm. You know, and you never know. Maybe the reason I'm a Braves fan is because there's a family connection where my grandfather, the only one I have left living,
Guitar.
is a Braves
I saw
fan.
that. I believe in you. Guitar. Let's Zeppelin this bitch.
Oh no shit, really? Were they the Boston Braves? And see, I wish I could hear you asking that instead of just reading it. Because I don't know if you're being like seriously asking or
See,
air guitar. Air guitar.
Caleb says that, but I don't know if that's accurate. I swear to God, if he's just that much far ahead of me in the game and I'm missing in this next plays an interception, I'm going to shit myself.
It's sarcasm. Okay. There is a family connection for why. Yeah, that's now the second one that's gone and said Cousins pick. I
Jermaine, you guys are all trolls, troglodytes.
Oh no.
Be gone. Do what?
Do what on camp? What did Draven say he was going to do on camera speed? If
You're gonna fall again.
well, we're at the 2-minute warning.
Shit
Oh, shit himself. I mean, that'd certainly be some good video views.
That would be absolutely terrible. Because I'd have to like sit here. You'd probably see a bunch of veins grow up the face as I'm trying to push to make it happen.
You would be the meme. You would be the meme of the kid, like, you know, with the blood vessels popping in school, exactly, trying to hold in.
Just bust it. Wow. Woo, lightheaded there. That was aggressive. Wow, I'm gonna have an aneurysm. Thank you guys. Woo. Leave Brittany alone. Leave him alone. Guys, but in reality, the Vikings need to win. Because if the Giants win, you think that it's going to be a good game against the Giants with the 49ers? Not even close. The Vikings just like to just poo-poo down their legs, okay? That's just their favorite thing to do, okay? I don't know why. I really wish I could understand why. Caleb, you shut your dirty mouth, okay? It would be a great game because Brock Purdy is bound to mess up one of these times. Have faith. You think Brock Purdy's going to play a perfect first half of a season all the way to a Super Bowl? No. Slightly.
The way this works, if the Giants hold on to win, yeah, it certainly looks like his location looks different.
Yeah, that's because one, I didn't get a chance to run and replace a monitor, so I was going to go off of my laptop, and I actually have a camera mounted, but it wasn't working well with whatever this setup is for Restream. So we're using the OG computer camera.
All right, let's see if Kirk has some magic in him. Minute 56 to go. 3rd and 8.
Shit. It was a close one. Very close one.
Oh.
All right, it is 4th and 8. You know what? I'm going to do this. Since I'm a play behind you, I'm going to cover my ears, and I'm going to let you be the
You're
person
going to let me
that...
do a play-by-play call? All right. So, let's see what we got here. See what Wink Martindale cooks up for the Giants defense. See what Kevin O'Connell does for Minnesota. 4th and 8. This is essentially the game. Minnesota has to get to the Giant 44 for a first down. Shotgun snap. Kirk back to pass. And he passes to Hawkinson, who is short. The Giants take over on downs.
Yep, Vikings gonna Vike. Why did we waste 3 timeouts before the fucking 2-minute warning? Why? Please explain to me why that has ever been a good idea ever in the history of sports. And Daniel Jones has 300 yards passing again.
And I believe this sets up where in the NFC, the Giants know who they're going to play against, and it's going to be their division rival, the Philadelphia Eagles.
I think you're right. Because the Giants were the 5th seed? 6th seed? No.
Yeah, they're the 6th seed.
Yeah, 6th seed.
So what did we learn today from Speed? Cuz Kirk gonna Kirk.
Vikings gonna Vike.
Vikings gonna Vike.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre against the Saints.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta love being a Vikings fan. Motherfucker.
Well, in one respect, it is great. Oh, damn, Flitty. It is a good win for the Giants. I will go and give them props. You know, are they my favorite team? Hell no. Hey, the Giants. I got 2 big ass reasons why.
Yeah, no. That Greg Hodgins catch was I'm not gonna lie, that was a huge thing because that did lead to a touchdown, which should not have counted, but whatever.
So, looking at it and me being, so I used to, when I lived up north, I used to work, I was an intern for a local newspaper, and I worked at their sports desk, and they taught me, even with your own team, go and look at it from an objective viewpoint. And looking at the replays, continuing to watch the replays on Twitter, it was a catch. That Hodge, and it's why I'm like, why is it the Giants always get these crazy circus catches? Why is it always a Giants player when I'm watching them that get these like unbelievable type of catches? I don't get it.
You're not allowed to watch any Vikings games with the Giants. Yeah, see, and then Caleb said some dumb shit like Dez dropped it. I will go to my grave saying
that was a catch.
Dez caught that ball because he had it in his one fucking hand when he extended. The whole time he had the ball.
Extending is a football move.
No Vikings game to watch now. Yes, Caleb, go to bed. Go drink water, you bitch.
So, Well, that's.
He didn't catch shit. If you don't think that was a catch, and you agree with the whole like Calvin Johnson non-catch, I have a smart water.
That wasn't the one I wanted to click. Oh, but that's a good one. It was this one from Zach. Did Dez catch Draven when he fell out of his chair?
Oh shit! I wish you would have. I wish you would have. Oh, damn it! Well, Vikings are gonna Viking. That sucks.
And oh boy, this has been. Now the Dolphins receivers are waiting there to catch Draven. No, to Kath Draven. What does Speed? Does Speed Cuz have a? Is it like a Mike Tyson and he's got a
lisp
speech impediment?
Kath.
You know, yeah, this is Mike Tyson.
Yeah, my name
My
Mike
back
Tyson.
is broken. My back is broken.
It's broken.
Spinal.
Oh, is that like a bar? Spinal. It's not spinal.
Spinal.
Giants with a country. I'm tired of all these.
Got to replace the batteries. Is it the batteries you're blaming, or is it
or your
that
fat
South
finger.
Shore education?
Call you Michael J. Fox on the
I
keyboard.
know how to type. Typing is fun.
It's definitely hanging out. I think they reserve a special place in hell for people like you.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh.
What the fuck is that? Calvin,
I think we can.
like a sentence. What is that word? Education. Is that? Oh, sorry.
South Coast education.
Oh, God. That is great, Calvin. That is fantastic. Oh God.
Oh, well.
To say that I am beyond bummed is to say the least. You know what? I'll give it to the Giants. The Vikings continue to do Viking shit. They did the exact opposite of what I thought they were going to do on defense. They continue to play this soft ass coverage for no reason. But yes, Caleb, I remember when the Vikings didn't win. Whoa. Are you sure? No, that can't. Dude, Speed can't be Calvin. He just literally said, fuck A-Raj and the Fudge Packers. That really Calvin?
I don't know. No, but on that note,
That's
now
great.
that the entire NFC North is out, I think Draven, maybe your best bet is to be like Cliff Kingsbury and get a one-way ticket to Thailand and just stay there.
I might consider it.
By the way, that's the best move in the world. I love it. It's like, you know what? I'm getting paid till 2027 by the Arizona Cardinals. I'm kicking my feet up on a beach in Thailand. See y'all in a few years.
Absolutely. I think that's fair. I know. That's
so.
It's
But
been fun. Like I said, it was a good game. I'm genuinely upset that, and of course, it's a one possession game. Because it's not like the Vikings had a perfect record with one possession games. So of course it's gonna fall apart in the fucking playoffs. The Vikings are gonna continue the Viking, and I'm gonna just continue to be half-ass, I guess. Apparently. But no, all the best wishes to him. I will now be officially rooting for the Super Bowl that I think is going to happen, which I actually think is going to be the 49ers. And believe it or not, I do think that the Bengals are going to repeat.
ooh, okay.
I think Joe
I
Shiesty's
would.
offense, their swagger right now is second to none. They're doing something that hasn't been done for a team that started off 0-2 after previously making the Super Bowl. No team had made it to the playoffs, and they're already in the playoffs. So I think that they're going to turn it around. So I'm going to give it a 49ers Bengals Super Bowl.
No, that's a good one. I still think it'll be 49ers Bills. I think this is the Bills year. Honestly, if you take out the whole Schadenfreude bit I talked about earlier, I think the Bills are probably going to be the one to win it this year, just because it just seems that everything is just going their way. Speed Cuz weighing in, saying Niners Jags, which wouldn't be a bad Super Bowl either. And for us wrestling fans, it'd be excellent for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I appreciate
Excellent
the
for the
enthusiasm.
Jaguars.
It's not always been the Jags. Trevor Lawrence is not necessarily the guy that you maybe think he is. I think that he's good. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, he has a proven track record at Clemson, my dear boy. So I think he
so does
is the guy you're looking
Corey at
for.
Texas. That doesn't mean shit in the NFL.
Yeah, well, everybody's still
Tebow
colored
at
on the
Florida.
fact that he had Urban Meyer for a year, but we know that Urban Meyer is a shit stain of a human.
That's fair.
And the only thing that Urban Meyer has in common is the fact that he was a part of two shit stain colleges, Florida, and the biggest shit stain of them all, Ohio fuck off state.
Hey, that's fair.
And for like I was saying, for us wrestling fans, it'd be awesome if the Jaguars won, because that means the WWE would have to send a WWE replica championship to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just so happen to be owned by Shad and Tony Khan, who own AEW.
Please let it happen. Please let it happen.
We need this. We need that so bad. I want to see the Instagram post with the Jacksonville stuff. Congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Shad Khan, you definitely deserve it. Tony, you can only get this if you pin your father or you come work for me.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. So I don't know if we got a live coming up for Bengals Ravens, but I think we got one tomorrow night for Tampa and Dallas.
I believe so. Yes, I believe that's going to be
Okay.
Calvin and possibly Nick and possibly more, depending on who's available. To be honest, I might pop on, because why not? It's fun.
Yeah, I might go and do the same tomorrow night. But this has been great as always. Whenever anybody goes and does these lives, it's fantastic. Especially the conversations.
Thank you guys for the comment section below. It's been fun to banter, even though most of it was just making fun of me and bullying. Yes. but guess what? I love it. I love rolling back. I love throwing punches back. So yeah, let's keep the boxing match going. Continue to participate in SLG network events as we continue to have live streams during the games, during all the playoffs and different sporting situations. Peace and love for everybody. And yeah, Kevin, go ahead and continue and rolling us off.
Yeah. So again, you're going to want to go to the YouTube, youtube.com/CSLG network. Go and subscribe, like any videos you're going to watch all of our videos, and go and hit that bell icon in the top right corner of the page. That's going to allow you to be notified of whenever our new videos come out, whether it's the watch along for the NFL playoffs, any of our podcasts, the BJD podcast, Off the Top Rope, news about those podcasts coming soon. Um, the Bayou City Boys, Sip It and Rip It episodes when they come out, and other videos that come out. We don't just do podcasts, we do
It's a lot of
news
things.
segments, we do sit downs. I might have a couple of things cooking. I live in a brand new state. I'm learning so much history about South Carolina. I may just want to talk about it. I might only get 3 people to go and watch, but as long as I go and put the state flag on top of the video, people will go and watch. Especially in South Carolina, they love this flag. But again, youtube.com/the SLG network. You're going to go and subscribe to the channel, like and watch our videos. Hit that notification icon with the bell. Go and be notified of all our future videos. Please also go and follow all of us on all the social medias. We got a Facebook, we got a Twitter, we got YouTube, like I just said. We got Instagram, TikTok. We got a Discord server. May one day have a Reddit page. May have a MySpace if they bring that back, like they're trying to bring other stuff back. I don't know.
Hey, look, I'm sick of you. Get the fuck out of my comments.
Oh boy. Okay, hang on. Oh,
I'm sorry. Just in case you forgot, I'm done with him.
Just have to go and put the Vikings loss, just in case y'all forgot.
Get him out.
So you can go and follow us on all of our social medias. Just go and search for the SLG Network and go and hit the like, the follow button, all of that jazz. It does a ton for us, and it costs you nothing. It's my favorite price, free $99. And we're sponsored by What's Poppin' Corn Snacks, best gourmet popcorn around, pound for pound. And we're also sponsored by Dano's Seasoning. Experience the only seasoning you'll ever
Yum,
need.
get you some. A trigger figure, baby.
Go to their TikTok page. They have a video about how to go and make a prime rib, and oh my god.
Dude,
if I had family who were more adventurous, I would be doing it that way. So, for Draven, the SLG Network, I am Kevin Wilson, and you're not.